There we go. Okay. I guess we'll get started on a bit of Bandido while we wait for people to arrive. Oh no, straight away Gracie is in. Oh no, I've just realised there's a oh, how do I change that? Can I change this? Oh, I don't know if I can do it after the fact. Oh dear, I forgot to change that setting. We have the Susanna's in as well. Hi Susanna, how you doing, Gracie? And how are you, Susanna? Can I call you Suze? Or Susie? Susie could be quite a nice shortening of that. I've left the silly thing on about leaderboard thing, so everyone's going to have crowns on. I apologise. I don't like that thing. I'm aware that some. I'm coming close. Yeah, I'm aware that some people like to have that on, and it's a thing, but not me. I prefer to have less. Oh God, I've done none of this right. Oh my lord! Right, I've got to just quickly change my settings as well. There we go. I can get notifications otherwise. All right. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I don't like this leaderboard thing where it's somehow going to incentivize people to chat more. I don't like that. I don't want it to be a competition. I want us just to have a friendly chat. So ignore that. Everybody ignore it. Hi, Kit. How you doing? Glad to have you in. Oh, dear. Yeah, I'm going to go with Susie. I think Susie's a much nicer way to say, to shorten your name. If that's okay, Susanna. I can see you laughing, but I don't know if you're fine with that. I hope you are. My little Susie. Right, little bit of Bandido to get started. It's been a good day. It's been a very, very good day. So, as some of you will remember from yesterday, I had to cut things really suddenly at the end because Lucas turned up. We had a couple of games of chess, and I will regale you with the really crazy story of how we play chess. So, as usual, playing on the sofa, we cracked into a game and it got proper tense. Like it was a really, really difficult game. I reckon it took us at least an hour and a half to play that game. I mean, something along those lines. And we were both fully involved in this game. And I took it right at the end. Like, it was a tight run thing. So then we switch around, and I think like this time he's white or something, and we get cracking into the second game. I kid you not, it starts to turn into a similar sort of thing, but I've had a little bit of fun with it, and I've turned it into a bit of a weird game by just playing different tactics. And I think at some point it just threw him off the way the game was being played, because he brought his queen down one aisle, and he was causing me a lot of grief. He was like really attacking my king and being very aggressive. And I was like, you know, the only thing I can do is just get him to move his queen back. So I pushed my rook forward onto the same line as his queen, fully expecting him just to move his queen away because like he couldn't take my rook and he had no option but to move the queen. And he looked at the board and like stunned as if to say, oh, he's done a good move. I'm going to have to like rethink my whole strategy. Spent like 3 minutes thinking about it. And then somehow, I don't know if he just didn't realise or he had forgotten, because I was sure from the way he stopped that he realised that I'd put it there. And then maybe just after lots of thinking, he'd forgotten about it. I don't know, but he seemed to think afterwards that he hadn't even realised it was a thing. He just left his queen there, played a different move, and I just went, whoop, have his queen. He's like, what? Oh no! And he just lost it. And he went, boosh, and like all the pieces went everywhere. And I was like, the satisfying game of chess when your opponent gets so annoyed with the ending that the pieces go flying. I'm like, yes, what a win. Oh dear. But yeah, but he hung around, parked outside. Well, I say outside, like next to the van, basically, for the night. And then this morning we went off for a walk from Biggleswade. I sort of took him down the river, down into Langford, where some people do a little bit of well, I do a little bit of wild swimming there, but people do a lot of paddle boarding and stuff from there and kayaking and whatnot. And yeah, we had a dip in the river, which was freezing cold, but it was a lot of fun. And then yeah, we hiked all the way back as well. So it wasn't a big hike; it was just a short local walk in my mind. But I think overall it's about 3.5 hours, or well, it was probably about 3 hours of walking, maybe even 2.5. But then with the swim as well, it's fantastic. Oh, Susie's asking. Susie's asking, do you believe in God? Which one? Is always what I ask people when they ask me that. Which one? I I believe in some stuff, but it's not what we talk about here. To be fair, Susie, I don't believe in like a Christian God or anything like that. No, that is not my bag. How about you? Are you religious in some way? I assume probably are if you're asking. We don't want to start any philosophical debates, but we can at least ask simple questions like that for sure. Oh, Gracie has said hey and then just kind of evaporated. Gracie, where have you gone? Ah, not love today. I joke. Well, we got the numbers look really high. I don't know why they look that high. Anyway, I've been shuffling for ages. Let's get this set up so you can watch the game and me at the same time. Let's try and make this. I don't know if I can actually pinch zoom. Oh, I can. Whoa, I have a little bit of zoom function when I'm on the front facing camera. I did not think that was going to be a thing. I'm going to be honest. That is a surprise. So for those who are not part of my YouTube family and have no idea who I am, I'm Molly. I'm a van lifer in the UK. And yeah, this is me just chilling out with my YouTube family, having a bit of laughs, talking in the chat. And I do like to have a bit of a back and forth, as you might have already noticed. So get yourselves in the chat, tell me where you're from. And yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me, because we always want to grow the family. So this is Bandido, if you haven't seen me play it before. Essentially, we've got a little Bandido there in his behind his bars. He's digging tunnels, trying to get out. And the tunnels must grow, but I get to dictate where they grow. And my objective is just to block him off. He's trying to get out. These are the cards I get to play with. I always have 3 in the hand, so I'll draw them from there. And we'll see if we can't trap Bandido today. We have a Nicole. Not picking out names for you, but that's is so, because I'd say Nicole, but obviously that's not Nicole. That's Nicole. Am I saying that right, or is there a particular pronunciation in here? If there is, try and phonetically spell it for me, and I'll get it right for you. But Detroit, Michigan. Michigan. I'm not speaking properly at all then. Detroit, Michigan, in the house. Indeed. Lovely to have you in. If you're wondering why I'm looking here, I have my other device for the chat. In fact, what I can probably do is put it there, so at least I'm looking at you. Well, actually, it might be better. Yeah, I'll just put it there. Well, that might block the view, but I'll put it there for now. And we've got an Olaf from Merlin. Hi Merlin, good to have you in. And we've got Silent Down. Ooh. Excuse me, my finger caught that. Let's try that again. I was saying hi, Silent Damsel, how you doing? Hope your day's been good. I guess I didn't get a response from Susie. She just asked me, but then didn't tell me hers. Fair enough. Am I single? Yes, I am. I am very, very single. Which hence the funny title of this this video, because quite often on a Saturday night there's a bit of flirting goes on for whatever reason. We have more of an adult orientated room, which I guess makes sense. We get the adults in, we get adult chat. Do I understand Spanish? A very small amount. I'm on about a 200 and something day streak on Duolingo, trying to learn Spanish. So I've got a real basic knowledge of Spanish, but it's getting better all the time. Like my streak is good. I've been on a daily thing. I've already done it today, a little bit of it. So yeah, like is it? like I've just started learning about things like saying quiero for love and things like that, which was quite interesting because there's loads of ways to say that in Spanish. It's obviously the language of love in some ways, because there's like te amo and things like that. But then they just start saying about like yo quiero, which I'm like, okay, so it's you're basically saying you want somebody, but that's the same as I love that person. But okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I quite like that. But yeah, yeah, but I understand a little bit. I'm better at reading it than I am. I'm best at reading. I'm then second best at probably writing. Then then comes being able to hear it, and then comes talking. Because I tell you, I must butcher it when I speak it. I tell you, somehow Duolingo can understand me, and I usually do all right on when it's getting me to speak. But I think it's been pretty like generous with me, if I'm honest. Damsel saying, yeah, it's been good. Spent the day celebrating one of my daughter's birthdays. Big 23. Happy birthday to your daughter then. Yeah, woohoo. How are you and the boys doing? Well, bit of news actually, the boys. Henry won't be coming to join us tomorrow. He's going to go back to his mum's for the week. He's decided, as he's a big boy now, that like we do give him a bit of choice along this sort of thing. He's decided this week he's going to stay with his mum, which is probably something to do with the fact that last week he got no treats while he was here. Well, he got a couple, as you saw on the stream, but for the most part he was not allowed treats because he was misbehaving. And when he has a misbehaving week, I'm tough on him. Whereas I think his mum, just like his grandparents, aren't quite as tough. And he gets away a bit more. And I think he's decided if he stays there, he'll get a bit more. I think he's forgotten though that this week is all about Christmas, so there was going to be loads of treats this week. And I think Ethan's going to get the fun of that. So it's going to be just me and Ethan. We're going to try and, well, as I said, on Monday we're going to head out. We're going to try and collect up loads of stuff to make some decorations and probably buy some straight up ones as well. We're going to try and get ourselves a new tree. We're going to start decorating the van like over the week for the Christmas stuff. And yeah, it's going to be lots of fun games involved and lots of treats. I mean, Christmas is starting in it, so got to get into it. Oh, it's raining a lot in Brazil. Is it like a rainy season at the moment, is it? Oh, I see. Well, yeah, we knew you were from Brazil, so that makes sense, Susie. Oh dear. I bet you have a lovely accent as well. I will say there's something, I think I was mentioning this to you before, but like my favourite ASMR artist is Brazilian. And it's just something about something about Spanish as well. I think she mostly speaks Portuguese, so she does English and Portuguese ASMR. But she did one video with Spanish, and it's oh yeah, the Spanish is a very good language for ASMR, and it's quite good because there's a lot of ASMR where there's like talking, but it's what they call inaudible. But in reality, that's not the word to describe it, but that's what they call it. And it's just where you don't really understand, so it's illegible, really, or whatever, or not even legible because that's you can't read it. I think there's a word, but like unintelligible. That's it probably. But anyway, the point is you can't understand it, but you can hear speaking, and it kind of has the effect because then you don't have to listen to the words and think about what they mean. And it's kind of a bit like that when somebody's speaking a different language. So sometimes it's good in like say German or Russian or Spanish or whatever. And different people like different ones. But there's something about the Spanish sort of words and that they come across very well with ASMR, I think. Anyway, let's get cracking on this. Yeah, you mentioned about the Italian, but you studied it. I thought maybe that was something that you picked up from, because I'm aware that Brazil is quite like a mixing pot of people, isn't it? And so you get lots of different cultural stuff and languages all mixing, from what I'm told anyway, and what I've seen on like documentaries and films and stuff. So I assume my real basic kind of knowledge, which is very limited, is at least semi-accurate with that. Right, we're going to go straight for that one. Get rid of some of these rather nasty ones, but we actually don't end up creating too many more pathways. I could go with that one there. That's quite nice. I'm going to turn that one that way. We're going to go with that way. Oh, I need to actually keep drawing cards as well. Hope you can see okay. Hope I'm not zoomed out too far that you can't actually see it. I'm going to move that back over there. Yeah, I think we completely lost. We completely lost Gracie. She came in, said hi at first, and then has disappeared. Oh no, you're back in. Hi, Gracie. I was just thinking, where have you gone? We've got Susie in, who I'm calling Susie. She has not said a yes or no to me calling her Susie, but that's what she's getting now. She's had her chance to say no, don't call me that. She's now our sweet little Susie, and we've got you in as well. And we did have someone called, and I'll be honest, I didn't get any clarification on it, so I'm going to go with Nicole. So Nicole is either in or not, but I've got a couple of questions and gone. But we do have Silent Damsel as well. I'm just waiting to hear how. Oh no, she already told me, didn't she? Yeah. Oh yeah, about the birthday. That's it. Yeah, the big 23. So you say one of your daughters. So I guess you've got more than one daughter then. Have you got how many kids have you got, Silent Damsel? If you don't mind me asking. Let's have a little look. We're gonna pop that one that way, I think. I've got plans for that one to. Oh look, immediately. There we go. I think I'll use that one to do that. Yes, we can do stuff with this. We're going to use that one there. So I've done that and turned two into one, and then immediately going to use that one to close off them two, using what isn't a closer as a closer. That is kind of the trick to this game. The more times I can do that, the better. Right. Oh, I don't like much of this, I'm going to be honest. This is not looking pretty, but I think I'm going to do that. Now's the time to just use up some of these nasty ones. I'm going to go with this one here, close off this, and now we don't have to worry about anything over this end, and we're just working towards this way, which is quite nice. Hey, Ambrose is in. Hi, Ambrose. And Lee as well. Hi, Lee. How are you both doing? I hope you're well. Have you had a good day? And Ambrose, have you had a good few days? Because it's been a little while since I've seen you. You don't have to say hi a million times. I will look up and see it, honestly. And you know me, I scroll back through the chat because we're here to have a chat. So don't freak out about that. You was watching a different stream, Gracie says. You'll be in and out. Oh, okay, I see. I'm nothing special to you now. I see. Hurt my feelings. That's it. You go off and watch Life of Down or wherever it is you're watching. You go off and do it. I tease Gracie. You go and do what you want to do. Hey, Sparker's in as well. So I've been lurking due to the ever-present zombie situation. Oh man, you get them zombies. You get them good. You got to practice, don't you? Because when they actually finally turn up, you know, the next one isn't going to be like COVID. The next one's going to be like one that turns us all into zombies for sure. You know what I mean? That's done then. Oh, you got 25, 23, and 10. Oh, that's a big old gap. You the youngest was a little bit of a shock, but a good shock. Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, that must. I'm wondering if the one who's 10 was a bit of a surprise, but it's always a pleasant surprise, isn't it? Well, for those of us who love children, anyway. Great to hear. All is good, Sparker. I see. That's all right. That's all right, Gracie. I was only teasing. Don't you worry. I know I'm not your favourite anyway. I know there's these other two channels that obviously you're well into. So I don't mind being third on your list of channels. You crack on and do you. Hey, Big Boss is in. How you doing, Big Boss? We're not fired, are we? We're not fired. I hope we're not. We're doing good things here on Bandita. We might actually win this one. He says, jinxing it entirely from the word go. So this was a bit of a risky move, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to close that one off with the intention of opening this up with the to the two. Yeah, got to do it. I'm going to open that up into a double, but I can close one off if I need to. Oh, I've got two closers. If I just had the right piece for that, we'd be sorted. It is a bit early though in the game to be getting that lucky. Got to be careful here. I could end up not being able to go. I want to be able to use this one. I think that's what I've got to do. And I'll turn that into a corner, which I'm sure I'll be able to close off later. Yeah, I don't have enough options here right now. I need to give more options. So actually the right thing to do is to open this up with more tunnels for now. Give myself options. There we go. Yeah, we don't mind that. Oh, it's getting a little bit. It's getting a bit silly here, but we're doing okay. We're doing okay. Aye. That's going to just blow that right open, isn't it? Let's go like that. I like that more. There's a reason for that. I don't want to be over here encroaching on this because I don't know what piece is going to go here. Ambrose with a hi again. Hi Ambrose, how are you doing? I asked you, how are you doing, Ambrose? Don't say hi anymore. Tell me how you're doing. Oh, we've got a message held for review. Yeah, well, let me see it then. What's going on? Hold on. Oh. Wait. No, yeah. What on earth? I don't know why that is. Fit as a fiddle, eh? Lovely to hear. Oh, and Susie's off. See you, Susie. Thanks for popping in. Oh, thinking of what Susie was saying in the comments that she would, I don't know if that's what she meant, but she said something about maybe sending a video of her biscuit decoration stuff. And that reminds me, to all my YouTube family, I have been saying in the past that I have my email in my bio. And it is in there, but I've done it in such a way, I had done it in such a way where it was like part of the info, which I'm aware it doesn't always show. And so I realised there's a way that most people do this, and I've been a bit stupid, which is just to write it into my actual, like, about my channel bit. So I've written my, I have written my email address actually in the description for the channel. So if anyone's actually interested in getting in touch off the channel and chit-chatting back and forth a bit, then yeah, just send me an email and we're good to go. You're saying it's Susanna, darling. Is that meaning that you don't want me to call you Susie then? Ambrose, you've started to spam so much that the bot has decided that it will. I know you're telling. Oh, sorry. You were talking to Ambrose. My apologies. Yeah, I don't think Ambrose knows your name. That's fair play. It's sometimes confusing when somebody says something in the chat and I don't know if they're talking to me or the chat, but there you go, I've got that one. All right, I'm going to go with that one there, and then we've got 3 all close together. That's a pretty good idea. Ambrose, please stop spamming. I don't want to have to give you a timeout, but I absolutely will. We'll put that one there, and then we've got corners, but yeah, we're starting to need some right pieces in here, I tell you. Well, we've got 2 of them now. I'm going to use one up and just close that off so I don't have to worry about going off the table. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh, there's the piece. There's one of them done. Wicked. Now we need a corner piece here, and all this bit's done, and we're on to just the bits we've got up here. Oh, yeah. All right, I'm going to use that closer there. I don't want that one dealing with anymore. This game sometimes, honestly, I can't really use that piece for much. I'm going to just close that one off. So at this point, just to have a look at what we're doing, take a moment. I've got this corner piece. I need a corner piece one here, and I've got the 2 openers there, and that's it. We're going to mess with these 2, split them around a bit. Susie just hanging about a bit longer, having a good old laugh. Right, that's not much of use, that. Oh, Gordon Bennett. All right. Really want that corner piece. Oh, dearie me. Just treading water here. Hope. Oh, it's a corner piece. It's not the right one. Oh no! What on earth? It's done me like a kipper there. Right, we're gonna have to think about moving this over a bit, and I'm gonna do it now before it gets a bit crazy. So let's just put that there. Put that there. Whereas I do this, that what have I done there? Oh yeah, that's the one that's going to be the corner piece. I'm aware as I'm doing this that this one's going to slide off, but it's okay because it's closed, so I'm just going to leave it there. I'm not going to be cycling back around to that. I want to give myself as much space as possible. Yeah, I know you were talking to that guy. Oh wait, what? Oh no, yeah, that is Susie saying that. Yeah, I got that in the end, Susie. Oh, let me just. Have I changed my chat settings on here? I've got just top messages on. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, we got Hugh. Is that? Am I saying that right, Hugh? Oi oi, oi oi. Back to you. How you doing? Glad to have you in. Where are you from, my guy? Well, I assume guy. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't got anything. We still got this all this. Ah, when you say kiddo, I'm guessing that's the 10-year-old. Well, I'm assuming, are they all girls? All three? Mm. Wait, is there a Simon in here? Have I missed something? Hey, Mr. Cat is in. Hi, Mr. Awarded Cat. You have changed your name again on your handle is changed once again. This is happening a lot. It's always got something to do with a cat in there. Fair play, but yeah, you will change your mind like the wind. I'm gonna close that one off. So what we're working with, we need this corner over here. Everything else is closed except for this one here. Okay. We have a single closer. We can't use it. We have to close off. So what I'm going to do now is just keep elongating that out and see what. Oh, Golden Bennett. See what we can get. If we can get luck. Oh, I'm going to go for it. I can put this corner here and it gets it down to a single opener, which is a little bit of a safer bet. And I can actually close it off with this one. And then I'm just with one. Look at this. Close that off with the closer. We open that up to a double. And then we use the C to close it up. Yes! Another win for today. Now, to be fair, today when I played, like as I was saying, I went for a walk with Lucas, and then we had a swim in the cold river, walked back here, and then we did a little bit of chess. And I did beat him in the first game. It was another grudge match, and he was a little bit gutted not to take it, but yeah, I got him on the first game. But then we played another game, and it was a proper epic battle, and it went down to the wire, and like he got me. We were down to just like pawns basically each, but he got his to the end first and got a queen, and then that was that. I was toast. So he's finally got a winning out of the last few games we've had, so it's good. Oh, 29 in March. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm good, Mr. Cat. I'm just going to call you Cat, if that's all right. Oh, Noah's in. Hi, Noah. Yes, just winning Bandido, in fact. I feel like I'm getting better at it. The more I play, the better I'm getting. Oh, Cat was saying my original name and Mr. Cat Rules wasn't gaining enough traction, hence why I've changed my handle back. Oh, so you've gone back to... oh, I see. So are you very much about YouTube success then and growing your channel, Cat? Because I noticed that you do have a lot of subscribers, but I think you head more into shorts than you do like the long form like I do. Which is fine, you know, it's whatever you want to do. There's no judgment now, it's just an observation. But yeah, I guess that's your bag. But you definitely, I think you have a lot more subscribers than me. You're nearly at 10k, aren't you? How you doing now? You good, my man? Cooking dinner. What's Dover sole? What? I don't even know what that is now. Hey, it's another ladder tech. Michael, how you doing, man? Good to see you in. Yes, I do more shorts than long form. Yeah, I noticed you don't do your face, which is fair play. A lot of people don't. That's a very common thing. And each to his own with that. I'm fully aware that it's almost like a special talent, being like comfortable putting your face out there, and just getting comfortable talking to a camera and being able to, you know, do this basically. There's not a lot of people who, first of all, actually stick themselves on a camera, and then of those people, you know, a lot of them are just like I was the first time I did it. I can't believe how like weird I seemed when I was doing my very first video. It never even made the cut to actually make a video that I uploaded, mostly because I lost half the footage. But also just like having watched it back, I was like, this is atrocious. And I realised I can't just go off cold and video something. I need to go out and just talk to the camera for hours and practice just being myself and not being awkward. And it sort of worked. I was doing all right. I mean, you can go back and watch my first video if anyone's interested in it. It was a wonky line mission, and it's not a great video. Like I look at it now and I go, there was loads of stuff that I know now that I look at that and go, okay, I did this wrong, I did that wrong, and I can just see all the sort of the mistakes. But I can also see where I did quite well compared to like how bad it could be. And yeah, I'm kind of proud of it, really, you know, and I don't think I'll ever take it down, even though I hear like other YouTubers who are much bigger than me saying about how they got rid of their first videos because it's a bit embarrassing to have them on the channel. I'm like, I don't know what's embarrassing about it. That's your first step on the path to where you are now, and where you are now, if you're proud of it, why wouldn't that be something you're proud of too? And yeah, you might one day think, oh, I'll stick my face out here and do some stuff if you decide to. But for now, if you're happy not doing face, you don't do face. I will say I don't get half of your videos. I've watched them. I don't watch it like everything, but I've watched some, and I'm like, okay, these I get, these I don't get. And yeah, it's not everything's for everybody. There's plenty of people turn up in here, go, what's going on here? It's boring, and off they go, and that's fair play. Let's have a little look. Three girls. I think you've missed that conversation. Sorry, damsel. The chat is flying. I'm going to be honest. This chat needs to basically like sort itself out and let me see more. I'm going to work. Oh, a flat fish. Okay. Oh, that kind of soul. Okay, fair play. And we've got Nasta from Russia. Hi, welcome in. I think you might be the first person we've had from Russia. I don't recall anyone else from Russia being in. If they have, they haven't said hello, or I've forgotten. But yeah, I don't think. Let me say. Oh, Susie's back saying, I once dated a 56-year-old man. Wow. Do you like them old then, do you? Am I too young for you, Susie? Is that the trouble? Yeah, I finished Ambrose, but I'm going to have another crack. I'm going to have another go. I don't think we've got many young'uns in, so I won't crack out the Connect 4 or anything like that. I figure it's more of a chat evening. And as you can see, I'm very slow to get the game started. But yeah, we have a chat first. I look like a cousin of yours. Ooh, okay. Rose, Ambrose. Her name is Susie or Suzanne. Susanna, I mean. But we go with Susie. Michael says, split a tip with the boss. He was shocked, but 50, biggest tip in years. I did have her dog while she had a trip. Ah, well, there you go. Oh, you're a better man than me splitting it with the boss. I think I was telling you my bosses, what's the word? AKA, also known as my parents. I have a feeling that they just nab the tips that come through on the online payments, which is bang out of order, disgusting really. But yeah, there's not a lot of cash payers anymore. Although I've had a couple. Oh, Amber's saying, have you watched Topper Guild videos? No, I haven't got a clue what that is. But you can tell me about it. What's it about? It's is it something you're interested in? I'm assuming, Ambrose. Ambrose, what do I know about you? I don't think I know much at all. Have you ever told me where you're from? Are you UK based or are you somewhere else? Ooh, I'm gonna go with an end one on that. I think. Yeah, I like that. Then we'll go there. We're going to save that. We're going to pop that one there. I like that. Oh, yes. That's nice. We can get a shape in there. Got another closer. Okay. So a lot of closers in one go. That's not going to be much use. So what we're going to do is going to put that over here and probably close that off. Oh, look. There we go. Oh, I was just about to say if we get the right pieces, this is going to be quick, but I don't know we're going to get the right pieces, I'm going to be honest. But we're going to do that. Oh, dear. Right. Let's just put that on there. I don't think that has much use there. Yes, that works here. Closing that off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or we could close these two. If we get the right pieces to do this, we could be into the... Oh. It's teasing me. It's teasing me like Susie does. Let's see. Let's close one off and see if we get lucky on this go. Second chance for it. Oh, that's brutal. How brutal is that? How bad could that have been? And we get them two. That is nasty. What is that about? So how do we utilise these in a way that makes some sort of sense? I don't think there's a lot of sense in here at all. Maybe something like that. The problem is we've already used that piece. Yeah, I don't like it. Right, so here we go. Let's check out some of this. Handsome men are British, says Susie. What's Michael saying? They seem to think he's, and then it cut off. 82.6 million subscribers. That's a lot of subscribers. A very, very well-known channel then. But yeah, it doesn't mean to say that I know him. It's surprising, like, you know, how some of the bigger channels not everybody knows them still. I wouldn't say all the British are clever, I'll be honest. There's definitely some daft ones out here. Oh, you said like greedy, but he's fair. I'll mention my wage, and he has 2 boys collecting, but I seem to be the only one getting tips this year. I might need to go collecting this next week for our box. Yeah, it's a lot to do with the friendly face, isn't it, Michael? It goes a long way. Bit of banter, bit of friendly face. I had a cleaner once who was working for me who, I'll be honest, he wasn't the best cleaner. And he would bump the Frosties, which I told him to stop doing. I don't know if you've heard of that term, bump the Frosties, but that's when you might have the whole. I'll explain it for everybody else, whether you've heard it or not. Bumping the Frosties as a window cleaner means that you've got like the little side window for the bathroom, which is like frosted glass, and because they can't see if there's like dirt on it or not, only if there's like a big lump of bird muck or something, if you leave it every other time or whatever, then they won't notice it, and that's called bumping the Frosties. So save yourself time by not cleaning it every time, which I think is just I mean, okay, it saves you a ladder move and climbing up the ladder, cleaning them down, but it's just like a minute. It's a minute of work, and you're saving it every other time. I guess it adds up if you're doing it a lot, but I'm like, it's just such a bad practice. But anyway, he was known for that. He was known for not being the best cleaner in the world, but he loved to chat to his customers. He was a real chatty guy, really lovely, salt of the earth kind of fella. And I mean, he had a mixed past, but he was lovely now. He was a great guy, and people loved him. People absolutely loved him. People would phone up to say how lovely he was, and yeah, I'm pretty sure if he'd have managed to stick it out for a Christmas, he'd have got loads of tips. But he didn't make it to a Christmas, I'll be honest. Let's check out some more chat. Why is Susie saying congratulations? I don't know why she's saying that. I need to keep a better eye on the chat. Oh my lord! You got sucked into the Roblox. I got sucked into the Slap Tower game with Ethan for a while there, but I have since deleted it from my phone because he seems to have forgotten to drag his dad into that game. I like to try to do the things he likes sometimes with him because he plays a lot of my games with me. So, Ambrose, I was born here. Yes, born and bred. Born around the corner, in fact. If you're talking to me, Susie, I try to be. It's not always easy to be a good friend, but you have to try to put the effort in. Right, I'm going to do this one. We're going to see what that gives us. I don't hold out much hope of it being nice to me. I might do that. I think that has legs. Oh, jeez, what is that? Right, I'm going to put that one here. Close this one off because it's the way to do that one. There we go. Oh, we have the same closer turn back up. That's good. That's useful. What to do? Nah, I don't like any of this. I'm going to just put that there. I don't think that has much value to the game right now. Oh, I can do that. That's really nice. We're going to put that one there. We'll put that there. Oh, that's frustrating. That would have been nice here, but I can't put it there. Let's check some chat. Ah, Blue Nose is in. Hi, Blue Nose. How you doing? Hope you've had a good one. So, Michael saying, unless the customer is one of... Love talking to you as well, Susie. Yeah, good evening, Blue Nose. Oh, you off again, Susie. See you, Susie. Have a nice time. Rule Britannia. I detect an East Midlands accent. I guess so. Yeah, Bedfordshire, if you know it. Oh, whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. How you doing? That's a good name. Right. I feel like I'm going to put that one here. It's not particularly useful. Excuse me. Way to deal with that, but yeah, I'm going to do that one here because I've got to leave some room here for that to work. Oh my God, it's really not liking me right now. What is occurring? That is frustrating. Right, we're going to do that. And then we'll do that. I'm going to close that one off. Oh, that could be really good. It was the wrong way around for this bit, but it'll work up there. Frustrating again. We're going to put that one there. We're just treading water again at this point, which is not the worst place to be in, but my lord, it's getting a bit annoying. I'm going to close this one off, I think. I've got a closer. Right, time. Ooh, I'm going to put that there, turn this into a corner. I think we've got more. Yes, we'll get out there now. Right, we're going to move it over so we can show the board a bit. You said goodbye, Susie, and then you kept shouting congratulations. 4 weekly blends in, but I've been there 6 years now. I get tips just for myself, but I do split most. Well, that is generous of you. Yeah, we don't generally have like tip splitting like we never have really. None of the not the company I work for that I used to, and not my one. I mean, the cleaners don't really know each other, to be fair. They all have very separate rounds and stuff like that. So, yeah. It's got a slot in there. Let's move this all over so we have space. Wait. I've done so. Have I? What have I done here? What is going on there? Where's that one from? What? Have I messed up on the move of this somewhere when there was one? If, because I wouldn't have closed that off if I'd seen that. How is that there? Have I? There's one here too. What? What have I done wrong? I've done something wrong here. On the move. I'm going to go back and I'm going to just have a little look and see what's happened here. Right. Checking the stream so I can see what I did. How have I messed that up? Yeah, okay. Okay. What occurred here? Yeah, I've moved these into the wrong position somehow. Right. That doesn't belong here. Right? What did I do there? Wait. So that was there. Wait, what? No, I'm not far enough. What did I do? It's too fiddly. I have no idea what I've done with this, but I swear it didn't look like this before I moved it. I've messed it up, and I don't know how. Right. What? How on earth have I messed this up so badly on the move? So, let's have a little look. So that comes out here. Well, even that looks different. Oh no, that's that bit there. That's that bit. No, there's something coming off of here supposed to be. Oh, what? Oh, I see. Wait. That goes off there. It was as easy as that. That's what I've messed up. All right. There we go. Disaster averted. That's just so stupid. Right, skip to live. Right, let's go. Sorry, everyone. Right, so Lino's saying, "I'm sorry, I don't know your name, mate. I know, and I don't know you, mate. Bedfordshire, do you follow a football team? I don't know. I'm not much of a football fan, to be fair. Uh, wow, a 60-year-old round. That's crazy. That's mad. I started mine from scratch, to be fair, all by myself. And then, yeah, just grew it from there. Had like 15 people working for me by the end. Crazy stuff. We have Sylvester in saying, "Oh, hi, Sylvester." And Kat saying, "I'm going now and we'll come back tomorrow." Oh, see you, Kat. Susie, you're still in. Tell me about Pet Shop Boys. Cool, that's a blast from the past. Yeah, you keep saying you're going to go, Susie, and then you just stick around. You sound like an addict. Are you addicted to the stream? Not a bad thing. Well, worse things to be addicted to. So here I'm going to put this in. This was the plan. And then I was hoping to get a closer to put in there, but I haven't got the right one. Just check. There should be another one. I think there's 3 of each of these, so there should be one more like that, and we should be okay. Shouldn't be having any problems. I think I'm just going to use that to close that off, so I don't have to worry about that one, which leaves us with just these now. Shouldn't be any dangers here, no difficulties. We'll pop that there like that. Keep the ones I'm using over here for now, so you guys can see them. Okay, we'll go for that. We can work that into there. Okay, we can go over there. Still hoping for the right closer for this. Might not have been the best move in the end, but we do what we do. Oh, that's tricky. That is tricky. Tricky dicky. I don't really want to use that there. I'm going to put that there and see what happens. Oh, could it be any more annoying? Oh, it's getting a little bit wayward now. So we've got the single over here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here. It's just stupid. I think doing that will be quite good. We can then close this one off. We'll actually do it that way up, so it's not in the way of the other one. Gives us more options coming off of here. Okay. Disasters have been averted. We'll put that one on there, I think. Oh, it's the wrong one again. Blue Nose saying, "What music are you into? I grew up on Elvis, but I love everything. I only went to 2 gigs this year. Andrea Bocelli and the O2 and Oasis opening in Cardiff. Cool. Well, growing up, I guess it was like my mum's music and a little bit of my dad's. So it was like Queen and Simon & Garfunkel, that sort of thing. These days I listen to very modern music, so you probably will not have heard of the groups that I listen to, but my favourites are Lainey, Shalou, and I like a few others as well. But I'm a bit of a mishmash, to be honest. It's not like I don't listen to specific, it's very rare that I go and listen to an album anymore. Thanks to YouTube Music, I generally just choose a track I like, and it just then propagates a random sort of mix from that track. And then if I like any particular songs, I'll like them, put them onto my like list, and that's usually how I listen to it. So I'm listening to just the odd song from different people, but I do find that that sort of genre is the kind of one that I lean towards at the moment. I think like deep house might be the closest sort of genre sort of thing you might call it. Yeah, I figured you meant you don't know my name. My name's Molly. Well, that's what everyone calls me anyway. Blue Nose. I guess am I right calling you Blue Nose, or should I be calling you something else? The 80s only had good music, says Susie. If you mean like everything was good, I can't say that everything in the 80s was good, but there was a lot of good stuff. James is in. Hi, James. I'm good. How you doing? Yeah, I've been winning at this and winning for the day as well. It's been a good day. Um, oh, that's all right. You stay as long as you can, and then yeah, you head off, James. But great to see you, and hope you're having a lovely evening. Um, Hearts to you as well, Susie. Um, uh, we have a Thomas in. Hi, Thomas. Who the hell is this boring old fart? Well, my name's Molly, and yes, I'm a boring old fart. But you found me. Maybe you're already gone. Who knows? Bruno say my mum went to the Simon Garfunkel tribute a few weeks ago. Said it was very good. I didn't even know it was happening. To be fair, I'm not really that into their music anymore. I must say. I mean, I'd still sing along if one of the songs come on, like the box or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't really follow a lot of like news or pop culture stuff or anything. I just kind of like stick to my own stuff. I'm so busy just in my own head most of the time. So first I look like Susie's cousin, and now I look like an ex-boyfriend. I hope they're not one and the same. Susie, I hope they're not one and the same. Oh dear. Blue Nose is fine. My Christian name is James. Ironically, I have a son called Jude. Also, like Jesus. Oh, that's cool. Right, what are we doing with this lot? This one's a disastrous piece. We don't want to use that at all if we don't have to. Well, actually, I say that. Then we're going to immediately use it there. There you go. Oh, well, that's a little much. That is right. We're going to ignore that piece. We'll close that off with a view to closing this off with the straight closer. I'm not sure that's a particularly useful piece either, if I'm honest. Oh, that's annoying. Well, I'm going to do that with that. I don't know if that's a good move or not. It might be absolutely atrocious, but we'll give it a shot. We're going to do... if I do that, I can't do my next move that I want to do. So, now, we'll use this now. We're going to turn that into two corners, essentially, which is a reasonable shot at something here. Then we're going to use that. That's such an annoying thing. I'm going to put the closer in for now and see what we get next. Well, that doesn't really help much, but we can put that there. That allows us to have this one, and then use probably this one. Yep. Oh, it's getting ridiculous. Come on, don't be like this. We've got two of these silly T's going on now. What is that about? How is that reasonable? Right, we'll put that one there. We'll see what comes out. We've got closer for that. We're going to use it. We have a corner now, finally. I'm not sure how much good that does me. If I do that, I can close them off and have just those. Yep, we'll do that. We'll close them off. Ooh, we have plans here. Wait. No, I've got to use one of these here because I don't know if I have the right piece to go in there, so I'm going to use that there. And then we're going to close that off just to have that done with. I don't know if you guys can actually even see. Yeah, you can just about see what's going on here, but we're going to be off the edge in a second. I'll move the camera. So everything over here is closed except for that one. I don't know if we have another closer for that. I'm a bit worried now. I've got one here, two here. Yeah, I think we have three of them in total, so I think we're okay. See you later, Susie. I wonder if she'll actually go this time. But take care. Oh dear, Susie kills me. Well, we haven't seen Beth yet. I'm hoping we see Beth. It's always nice to have Beth come in and say hello, but actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move over a little bit, spin the camera, and then potentially you can see what's going on over here. There we go. So we don't have many cards left, as you can see. There's not many left at all, but we're also fairly close to finishing up these new ones. So what we've got is this one here that we're waiting on. Oh, I could risk it. I don't know how many. I think there's 1, 2 straight close at 3. No, I'm not going to risk it for a straight close. I think we just have to hope that we have the right one there. So for now, it's that and this one here. That's all we've got. So yeah, we've already used both C closers. We're not looking for a C closer. I'm going to do that and just, I don't know how many straight closers we actually have left. This is going to get a bit gnarly. I've got to think about how I want to do this. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh, it's the other close. Oh, I'm going to go there. Oh, that's horrific. That is genuinely horrific. That, maybe. Yes, I can put the closer there. Okay. And then we're going to put that closer here. So, why did I think that was going to work? It doesn't work. I can't put that there either. Whoa, this is pretty phenomenally bad. I don't think I could just go that way. So, yeah, and then right, what we got? That must be the closer throw there if we have one, and we've got to somehow close this off with these 3. I don't think that's doable somehow. Let's just get that out of the way. Right. I could do that. No, it's not gonna. That's not gonna fly. I don't think we've done. Nah, it can't be done. But I think, yeah, that's the closer there. But it can't be done. We can't close them 2 off with these. It's just not doable. Ah, what an ugly finish. That was really ugly. All right, I'm done with Bandido. We'll have chats now. All right. Just gonna get you set up over here so you can see the fire as often is the nice way to do it. There we go. Okay. And I think that's good. Sort of good. There we go. We can actually zoom in a bit. There we go. Sorted. Right. Well, get some fire going, he says, and this thing's almost out. Good. There's some coals in the bottom. It's not too bad. Jeez. Right. Okay. Got it. What's our best options here, lengthwise? I think these are probably the way to go. That should be fine. Have a quick swig of drink. Cheers. Right. Move the table a little bit too. Let's see how everyone is. Oh, blimey. That's glowing Let's go in the clappers. That is absolutely raging. Right, wee. Let's bring you guys down a little bit. And there we go, get it about that. So who we got left in? Who have I not bored to death this evening? I've definitely bored somebody to death for sure. Oh dear. Let me scroll up and have a little look to see who's left, or who's been chatting. No, we've. I don't think there's been anyone for a while. I don't think I've missed anything. Hopefully not. Hey, Sparker's still fighting zombies, Sparker. I think there's not many of us left in, to be fair. I've bored everyone with my Bandido this evening. It was weird earlier. We went, like, I think the numbers went up really high from that for reasons I couldn't explain, but they don't seem that good anymore. But it happens. Yeah. Moved over to a movie now. Oh, what are you watching? Anything good? Something new? Something old? I watched a movie, finished watching a movie today. I'd started it the other day. The Roses with Benedict Cumberbatch. And I don't know the actress's name, to be fair. I've seen her in a few things. But yeah, that was a good watch. Do you know what? If I have that up there like that and angle it down, there we go. It's actually a better. Oh no, that's why I'm getting it wrong. I need you further away. That's how I normally do this. There we go. And then have you about there. And then you don't need to be angled quite so crazy. There we go. That's better. Oh, Damsel's in as well. That's good to see. We're still waiting on Sparker to say which one. I don't know if you heard me ask. Ooh, that's going nicely. So some of the wood that Lucas has provided, which is going full guns. Always nice. The Amateur. I've definitely heard of that. It's not ringing a bell as to what it is though. But it's not a brand new movie though, is it? Is that something to do with like a... Oh no, that's the one with the guy from... Oh, I know the one. He was from Mr. Robot. I don't know the actor's name, but he's a really good actor. Yeah, I watched that. Yeah. I don't know if I got all the way through it though. Whoa. That is bubbling. That has boiled that up. The water is cranked. Wow, what happened there? I barely turned that on. It's just gone absolutely crazy. I'm going to have to throw some ash on that. Kill that down a bit. Wow. I thought it was nearly out, but it's obviously had enough heat to keep it cracking. That slowed it down a bit. That is mad. The hot water back on. That'll dump some cooler water into the system. Not a lot though. I'm supposed to pay a lot more attention to how much heat the fire's actually putting out and into the hot water system. I've dropped the ball on it there a little bit, I think. Oh, that's it. Yeah, he played Freddie Mercury as well. Did a good job in that one too. Yeah, yeah. He's a good actor. I don't know that he's one of my favourites, but he's a solid actor. I like him. Um, yeah, there's loads of movies that I want to watch with the boys. To be fair, um, we've been working through quite a few of them, but there's so many that are good from over the years. Lots of old ones. Um, yeah, there's just so many that they need to watch. It's crazy. I Anytime I think of one, I write it down on a list of like, oh, that's a movie they've got to watch. They were actually asking, they wanted to watch Schindler's List because they were interested in some of the stuff that was happening back then. I was like, you're a bit young for it yet, maybe. I don't know. And they were like, no, let's watch it. I was like, I don't think so. It's some pretty like, well, I don't know. You don't really get to see anything too bad in there, so maybe it'd be all right. I don't know because I don't think it's an 18, is it? I'm not sure what the age is on Schindler's List, but I'm assuming it's like 12 or 15 or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, I saw that on the list of potentials that I could watch, The Running Man, and I was wondering if they did any justice to it. But if it's good for a watch, I might watch that then. Yeah. Thank you for the recommendation, Sparker. So we've got Sparker and Damsel in. Any of the other YouTube family in? Say hi if you are. If you're new and you're not part of the YouTube family, say hi and tell me where you're from. I'd love to hear from you. That's what we do here. We chit chat and we have a nice time. We just give you a chance to stop scrolling through the nonsense for 5 minutes. Better than the original, really. Ah. I mean, it's not like the original was any kind of masterpiece or anything, but yeah, it was a reasonable movie. That's old though, isn't it? The Running Man. Because am I right? Running Man's the one with it was Arnie Schwarzenegger, wasn't it? And it was like the game show, right? And he had to like figure his way out and all that, and it was a well rigged show. I'm right. That's what I'm thinking of by the Running Man, am I? Because it was a pretty decent movie. It wasn't like one of his best, but oh, thanks, Damsel. I was thinking it looks a bit shocking today. Actually, it looks a bit weird, but it does this thing. Sometimes it goes from one way to the other, and other times it goes the other way. Today it's gone that way, which it just has. But I was thinking about having a shower and cutting it today, but then we ended up going out to the river and having a swim and doing all the walking. I just really couldn't be bothered with the fuss at the end, but I'll probably do it tomorrow. So I want to have like a proper get a haircut and yeah, just trim the beard and all that, get myself looking pretty again for the week, and then yeah, it'll probably look, but hopefully look much nicer next time you see it. But I appreciate the compliment nonetheless. More believable and less silly. Oh, well, I don't know if that's going to make it better though, because that was part of the charm of some of those old movies. What's the one I'm thinking of? Like Demolition Man. Do you remember that one with old Stallone in it? That was such a silly movie. And his version of Dread as well. I don't remember what his version is. To be fair though, I think I prefer the version of Judge Dredd where I think it's just Dredd. It's called. It's got the guy in it. He's I'm pretty sure he's the guy who does. He's in The Boys now. Not the. He's like the main sort of like hero per se. He plays Butcher, I think, in The Boys now, but I think that's the guy. And he did a version of Dredd, and it's like they do it in like Peachtree Towers, and they have people like having this slow-mo drug that slows everything down, and they're throwing people off the top floor of this massive, huge high-rise and making them have the stuff so that they can like experience the whole way down type thing. And I was just, that's an incredibly bad thing to be. And some of the things they put up for this thing, but it was so gritty and so like dark, and it was a really good movie. But then you go to the Stallone Judge Dredd where it's just all a bit light-hearted and just a bit of humour, and I'm like, I kind of like that version. I thought that was pretty good, and yeah, I think that was one of the things that made The Running Man quite good. Yeah, I mean, Running Man was super far-fetched. I think there's some like Statham. I think did a version of Death Race, was it, or something? The one where they drive the cars and it's always a bit stupid. He's Frank or something. And sometimes these premises are really just absolute nonsense. The biggest load of like BS that you've ever heard. Just some weird premise for a movie. But some of them are like that. That's kind of the point. And if the director gets it and goes, yeah, this is This is not about making it like some like spectacle. It's not about making it some gritty storyline and making it edgy. It's just about having a laugh with this because it's such a silly concept. If they lean into that, it can be a great movie. But then it's when you get a director who hasn't really quite got the story's supposed to be one thing and he's trying to force it into another. So I mean that's like the difference between I guess DC and Marvel in a way. I like DC because they go quite gritty, but then because that didn't really pan out for them money wise, they started to go a little bit more light-hearted and they don't really do it as well as Marvel. I think that's my opinion anyway. And there's like and and I think that's the thing. Sometimes if you're watching a movie that's supposed to be gritty, like you're watching a Tarantino movie, you expect it to have some really like weird humor, but also just to be quite gritty. But like if he did something daft like Kindergarten Cop or something, you just know it probably wouldn't pan out quite the same. Oh dear. What's that, Stephanie? You missed your date. Were you supposed to be on a date? Were you? Oh, do tell. Or we're going to get no details at all from Stephanie because Stephanie does this thing. She comes in, she says something, and then gives no detail at all afterwards. You get like you tell something spectacular, and then like basically leave us all guessing. You're like very mysterious. Yeah, I got to admit, the boys wanted to watch Terminator, and I was like, "Well, not yet, lads," because especially the first one. The first Terminator is properly like graphic-y stuff in there. I was like, no. You mean what you've confused me now, Stephanie? I I have no idea what you're talking about now, Stephanie. You've confused me. But glad to have you in anyway, Stephanie. How are you? How are you doing? Oh, Susie's back. You finished your nap, have you already? That was quick. Oh dear. I'm now waiting for a response from Stephanie. We'll see what she says. Oh dear. No pressure, Stephanie. I'm not expecting a huge fingering like that. I just don't understand what you're saying. You say you missed your date, and what you mean you were watching me and you missed your date? I think is that what you mean? But like, I'm guessing. So, what was this date supposed to be? I swear there must be a delay on this or something. Because sometimes I ask something and then it takes forever for people to respond. Uh, and it's almost like I feel like I need to check if I'm actually on time with this thing. It's weird. Mind you, actually, have I got all the chat messages? Let me just check my chat settings. No, I have got all messages. Thank God for that. Yeah, jeez. You went back. What do you mean you went back, Susie? I thought you'd gone off for a nap. You mean you've come back? I think sometimes with Susie, I don't know, how strong is your English, Susie? Is it that your English is not particularly strong, or is it just that I'm misunderstanding what on earth you're talking about? Now I'm messing with it. Look, someone's brought my attention to my hair. Now I'm messing with it like a vain little girl. I got me. I don't like my hair today, personally. I'm like, it's all a bit of a. Actually, I can do something crazy with it. Just push it forward. Look, ooh. It won't go forward at the moment. No, it won't go. No, whatever. It feels a bit dry actually. I think the river kind of like messed with it a bit. I don't know. It's got river water still on it, and it's probably not exactly hygienic at all to be messing with my hair. But there you go. Whatever. That'll do. It'll be fine. Oh, Stephanie wrote something and then she's retracted them all. Stephanie, what's going on? You've done that thing again. Are you going all shy? Dear me. That reminds me of Beth a little bit. Beth does that. She like posts something and then takes it down, or like writes a comment and then deletes it a bit later on. Some of you out there get quite shy about what you say. Oh dear. Which is why I should bring this up as Stephanie's in, and a few others are in. I have changed the description of my channel now. So in my bio, if you go to the bit where you look at my channel and it says a little bit more about me, I've actually changed it because it was still saying about all the camping stuff. So I was like, actually, I need to change that and write a little bit more something like current. I haven't thought about it very complicated. I just wrote something out quickly because I'm going to rebrand the channel soon. I've figured out the new name I want it to have. I've figured out what the logo is going to be to an extent. I'll probably need to finesse that. And yeah, and I know what I want the channel to be. So everything's going to have to be like worked on, changed, and whatnot. There's a proper full-on sort of like, I'd call it a spring clean, but it might end up being a spring clean, the rate that I'm working at these days, but like winter clean, hopefully. And anyway, but what I did for now is I quickly changed that, and one of the things I did was I actually wrote in there my email address so that people can get in touch if they want to, because I'm aware some people don't want to say stuff in the chat here where like they might want to actually have a conversation with me a bit more, where this is not exactly like private conversation. So if you want to chat with me away from a public arena like this, and respectfully, if you're over 18, then you can get in touch with me on my email, and yeah, we can chit chat back and forth, and yeah, you know, it's not a big thing at all. So yeah, and we've got Rach in. Hi Rach, good to see you. What have you missed tonight? Been watching Wham on BBC Two. Not much. I just played a bit of Bandido. Won a game, lost a game. It's all good. I just told everyone about my day, really. We've had a little bit of chit chat, and there's been very, very minimal flirting. I think Susie has flirted with me a little bit, telling me I'm the handsome British man again, as per usual. But that's about it. That's about it. And I've just been telling people about how I've changed my channel bio a little bit to give a bit more information, put my email up there, and yeah, just stuff like that, really. But it's been a good day for me. I've been out walking and swimming in rivers, stuff like that. It's been a good day. How about you, Rach? Have you had a good one? I won't go crazy, but I'm going to open up a little bit. Let hopefully some more flame produce. So we want flame on that thing if we can get it. But we'll see. We might not. Oh, my screen is so bright right now. I don't think we need it up that level of brightness. It's just going to run the battery down. There you go. Yeah, a little bit wild. I don't know if I'd call it hardcore, but yes, a little bit of wild swimming. I love a bit of wild swimming. I do more in the summer. This is the first time I've gone in when it's like, but it's almost winter. And I tell you, it was cold because it's like, it's a river, so it's running water, and it really does, it has like a chill effect. A bit like you get wind chill because the wind like takes your heat away, and so you can't like warm the air around you. It does the same thing in the water, and so it was frigid, absolutely frigid. But it was good fun. It's good fun. So because essentially with Lucas, my van life friend, he works in the area, and so he parks up here at Biggleswade with me sometimes. So he dropped off some firewood, which some of it's on here, just there, and then some of it's in the actual stove right now. And I've got plenty more in the store behind me. Yeah, he dropped some off last night. We got to having a bit of chess, and then he hung around overnight, parked up next to me so that we could go out this morning, do a hike down to Langford, and I showed him because he's never walked around the area much, which is crazy. He's done like the Three Peaks Challenge, for instance, and he was telling me all about how that works today. I didn't realise that it was like 24 hours to go and do all these different peaks. But when people had told me that, I thought they were like peaks that were close to each other, like maybe like three different peaks in Wales or Scotland or somewhere. And it turns out, no, it's like the 3 highest peaks in the UK or whatever, and you have to basically drive quite a bit in between. I was like, oh, that seems like a weird way to do it. And they're not even driving themselves. They're like getting other people to drive them. I'm like, okay, but, and he's like, yeah, but it's quite hard to do 3 peaks in a row. And I'm like, well, yeah. And he's like, well, it's not like you've done that. I was like, well, yeah, not in 24 hours, but I have done like in a row, day after day after day, because I've done like four nights in, I think it was 3 nights, 4 days or something in Snowdonia, going up and down the mountains when I was a lot younger, and then more recently I did the crossing of the Peak District in 2 days, and we didn't have much of a rest break in the middle of the 2 days, so we weren't going full out for 24 hours. We were going full out for 48 hours with a bit of a break basically in the middle. It's like it's not quite the same, but it's still pretty hardcore. That was hardcore. That the walk across the Peak District. That's my idea of some hardcore activity. I'd say there's some hardcore people out there than me. There's always some ladies about that do the wild swimming, like pretty much. I don't know if they do it every day. They say to me it's most days. So or some of them are like, no, it's every day. But they're in the area. They have like all the because I see them in those places where like I end up being as well. So there's a few spots. There's one in Olsey, there's one in Langford, and there's a couple of other places around. But those two are, I think, the predominant places I see the wild swimmers. Excuse me. And yeah, they're always getting in and out. Your sister's really into it, yeah. I mean, it's a rising popularity thing, and it's really good for you. The cold water swimming is so fantastic for you. Just the what's it called? The not just the physical, but it's like even the mental sort of strength that it gives you. And I tell you, my skin was pink when I got out because we did 15 minutes in this river, and it was frigid. And I did a bit of swimming around, and poor Lucas, he got in, and I mean, when I go in, like I just ran in, jumped in, head under, right, and just swimming. And he's like slowly got in, not like super slow, but slow enough. I'm like, oh, enough of that. It's like a band-aid, dude. Just rip that thing off. Don't prolong the pain. And then he finally got down. He got down to basically nipple height. And then he kind of stopped, and he had this line just under his nipples where he was pink below, and then the rest of him wasn't so pink. And I was like, it was so hilarious. So when he got out, and then he did get under fully right at the end, and then he got out, and there's just this persistent line. This is the funniest thing. I said to him, you look like some sort of, like you've got a superhero outfit on or something. It's, yeah, it was crazy funny. I tell you, if the water's cold enough, it can really make it feel like that. It can make you feel like you're going to have a heart attack. Everything tightens up and your whole system goes. And it's not something you should do unless you're in a physical, like I've done a lot of cold water swimming, like not necessarily like built up to that recently, but over the years I've done plenty, and I'm very good at, like, I know what my body can and cannot do with that, and I'm physically in shape. So and I know that my brown adipose, which is basically a type of fat your body just has stored to use to burn very rapidly to give your body heat. It's how it basically, it's one of the main mechanisms to maintain your body's temperature, because obviously your core temperature has to stay the same, and so it has a lot of brown adipose around near the core, so you can burn that, and it basically, and then once you've used that, it kind of replenishes it pretty quickly. And the more you kind of use and then replenish your brown adipose, it's really good. It has a really beneficial thing for you, and your body will then produce more of it. And yeah, it's a solid thing. So that's one of the health benefits of the wild swimming, or cold water swimming to be more specific. But yeah, but if you've not trained it up, you can't just jump into the freezing cold water and expect nothing to happen. You can literally lock up, and your body can go into shock and all sorts. We've got Sue Blackman saying, hi there, hope you're well. Your log burner behind you is making me feel warm and cozy. Wild swimming sounds amazing. I will have to give it a try, but I hate the cold. Well, I think that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. You have to build up to it. So a first thing to try before you wild swim is a cold shower, which I kid you not, it's easier for me to jump into a cold river than it is to step into a cold shower. There are people, I've not said this, people have said this, where they've said it's actually easier to go and do like a what do you call it, like a skydive, than it is to step into a cold shower, because the psychological thing is still there. There's a step to take, but the thing is, if you go and do like a jump, basically you're like a skydive, the person doing the jump is often the person that you're strapped to, and they're kind of like taking care of everything, and you're just kind of following along, and it's a bit like if you like in a chain gang or something, and each person was going under the shower, and you were just part of that, you wouldn't be able to hesitate. The line would just move you in, and you wouldn't really think about what you're doing, and it wouldn't be very pleasant. But you wouldn't have the psychological effort needed to go, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to take that step that I don't want to do. So they say that the psychological effort of taking that step in that cold shower, making yourself do that thing that you don't want to do, is really, really hard. And I'm like, I get that idea, because I trying to step into a cold shower feels worse than me just kind of running full speed at the river and going, I'm not going to stop, I'm just going to get in. Because there's like, I give myself enough momentum to not give myself time to think about it. That's like the trick to getting in quickly. But yeah, but it's something definitely to build up to. To be fair, that there's not a lot of flame going now, because I had to tamp it down a little bit with some ash, to be honest, Sue, because it got so big. I have water pipes that pump water through to heat the rest of the van up, and it got a little bit too hot and started to boil the water because I wasn't looking after it. But I'll stoke the flames back up again soon, I think. I like a nice sort of ambience of a bit of fire. But lovely to see you, Sue. How are you doing? Other than feeling cosy because of my log bunny. You had a nice day? I hope you have. Hope you're still here. I don't know. Maybe you've disappeared already. Some people come in, say a comment, and then just go, leave me to it. We're going to mess with it a little bit. Oh, I think I see what's happened here. I've got like a bed of really hot ashes that are just right on the pipes. And that's probably what's given us the level of heat that we were getting. There we go, just close that down. Boom. Now we have a nice fire. Lovely stuff. There we go. Hey. Oh, that's a much nicer fire now. Hey, Cat's back in. Hi, Cat. Yeah, that's right, Sparky. You have to be careful getting cramps and things, that's for sure. That's why I say you've got to know what your body's capable of and what you can deal with. To be fair, when I get in, I don't get into like a very, very deep part. I always make sure I stay sort of within my depth until my body's acclimatized, and then I'll sort of, or like I'll be very close to the bit where I know that if I got a cramp, I could quickly, just with a couple of strokes of my arms, get over to where I need to be. But yeah, your muscles can really go haywire when you just get into the cold water too quick and stuff, and you're not used to it. Good question, Kat. It will only be Ethan. I was saying this earlier, but I think you weren't in. Ethan's going to come tomorrow, and so we'll have a stream tomorrow with Ethan. But Henry has decided to go back to his mum's after his time at Nana and Grandad's, so he won't be joining us, which is a bit sad, but also, you know, he's getting older now. He gets a little bit of a choice about where he wants to be, and he wants to be at his mum's this week. So it's just us and Ethan this week. But it'll be a good week. It's going to be a really good week. Me and Ethan will probably get around to some charity shops. We'll pick up some Christmas decks and some like gifts and things and all sorts of nonsense to do with Christmas. And we're going to do a lot of Christmassy stuff on the streams. So I hope you lot all like Christmas. That's all I'm going to say. If there's anyone who doesn't like Christmas, you're out of luck for the next, like, I don't know, couple of weeks or so of streams. I'm going to work 2 days more before Christmas. I'm going to do the Monday and Tuesday before Christmas, and that's it. That's all I'm working. Ah, Sue says she loves Christmas. Oh, you're still with us then, Sue? I wasn't sure if you'd left us. Oh, dear. Do you share 50-50 custody? I remember hearing you homeschool. Yes, Rach. It's become a bit more ad hoc with Henry because he's a bit older. But that was what we were doing: 1 week her, 1 week me, and back and forth like that. Although on my week they spend because what they do is we switch on Fridays. They would go to my parents for the weekend. But I don't know if you were around when my parents were in Scotland. When my parents went to Scotland for 2 months in their motorhome, and during that time, obviously, the boys come straight to me, and it was a full-on 50-50 split. But now Henry sort of has the choice if he wants to. He can stay at his mum's. But that's with the caveat that his mum will let him, because to be honest, he did that a couple of times. His mum just started to lose it with him because he's a bit of a handful. He's a teenager now, he's 13, and he's always been strong-minded. He's a proper handful now. So, yeah, he basically will probably stay there this week, and then we'll see whether or not she lets him stay another week. And I think there's been a discussion because both boys struggle to behave themselves properly and be focused or anything when they come from their nan and granddads, because they don't sleep properly, they have too many treats, and they have too much screen time, and they have all the bad stuff basically happening there, which means when they come here or if they go to hers, for instance, they're just a little bit like off the chain a little bit. They're like Henry and Ethan Unchained, basically. Yeah, just it can get a bit like too much. So when they come here, normally I give them a day or two of just getting them like unprogrammed from Nana and Granddad time. Their mum does not like that, and yeah, so there's been some discussion. He can go, because she was saying that if he wasn't going to go to mine, he couldn't go to there. And somehow he's managed to convince her that to give it a shot to see how he behaves if he goes there this weekend, and then his nan and granddad are going to take him back to hers instead of him coming with me, and she's somehow hoping he's going to behave himself. I'm going to be honest, it's a 50-50, because without his brother there, you know, two lads, they bounce off each other. He might be a bit better, but I know from the previous attempts when he wasn't even going to Nana's, that it didn't work out that well. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But he's very good at convincing people, especially his mum. So he's somehow managed to convince her to give it a go, that he can get the best of all worlds. Because he was basically like, if you want Nana, it was told him, if you want Nana and Grandad time, you have to come have Dada time. And yeah, somehow he's managed to convince everyone to like do everything he wants, and he's got his way again, which kind of annoys me a bit, because he's once again been taught that he can talk his way into whatever he wants. And I mean, that's sort of like, it's a lesson that it's good that he's got the confidence to give it a shot and try to get what he wants, but it's not good that he thinks he can get away with everything he wants, and he can talk himself out of any old situation. So yeah, I don't know. There's pros and cons to it. And to be honest, he just has too much confidence because he's a teenager, and he kind of needs to maybe be told no a few times. I don't want him to end up being spoiled. But we'll see what happens. But that's me, rant, like things off. That's what grandparents do. Yeah, grandparents that's what their excuse is. They go, "Oh, we're here to spoil them." I'm like, well, yeah, but still, crazy. Do you think they will miss one another as they are brothers? Asks Kat. No. They have loads of time together. You have to understand, they're not like normal brothers where they go to school and they've been in separate classrooms all day long because they're in separate years. These lads spend so much time together, it's unreal. Way more than most siblings, by like an incredible amount. In the same way that you might say, will you miss Henry? And I'll be like, yes, but I've had a lot of time with Henry. Like if he said to me, nah, Dad, I don't really need to come around that often anymore. I'm like, okay, you know, it's not nice to have your kids grow up and not need you anymore, but at the same time, you know it's coming. You know it's going to be there at some point. And I know it's mostly just because he can get his way more with other people, and it's not to do with the fact he loves his dad any less. However, it's like one of those things. I'm like, you know, I've spent so much time with him over the years. Most people have to go to work and don't get a lot of time with their kids. And for the first half of their lives, like my work was home based because I was running a business, with the sole purpose it meant that I could spend time with my boys. So I've spent way more time with my kids than most parents do, like an incredible amount more. So again, just like with how the brothers spend time together, it's not a big deal if there's time apart. So yeah, it's a fine thing. And if anything, it just means I can have some real quality time with Ethan. And that is something we like to do, have a bit of one-on-one time with the lads. And the other way around as well as this way. and we've done that quite a few times, like over the years. So that's why sometimes I take the boys both for an adventure. But as you can see on my channel, if you've watched my videos, sometimes it'll just be me, and sometimes me and Ethan, and sometimes it'll just be me and Henry. And that's because one-on-one time is quite important, just as well as the shared time. Yeah, and a bit of one-on-one time with Dad is something that Ethan will be looking forward to, because we have a really good laugh when it's just me and him. We're peas in a pod. We love the same sort of stuff, and we'll have a crack at different things. And yeah, we're just gonna have a good laugh this week. Um, so so Henry's the negotiator, is that what we say? Sort of. I'd lean more towards manipulator than negotiator, but yeah, sort of. So this break would probably prove beneficial, whatever, to an extent. Yeah, sort of, Kat. I mean, it's not like everything you do has to be like you're trying to figure it all out. What's the best thing? You just go with what you got to go with. And there's a lot of factors to a decision like this. Like, I don't want to upset Henry, I don't want to upset his mum, I don't want to upset his nan and granddad. So I could go in and be like, well, you can't have nan and granddad time and not come here, and start being all heavy-handed. And that's what you call bad parenting there, where you just, you've got to work it out. Don't stick to a wall or be heavy-handed just for no reason. And I look at it and I think, to be honest, I've done the best I can to temper his infusion, in like his thinking that he can get what he wants, and in reality, I have to capitulate to what his mum wants a certain amount, what he wants, and what his nana wants, and so yeah, it's just like, there's a lot of factors involved, and at the end of the day, it's just a bit easier to go, do you know what, let's roll with this one for now, see how the cards fall, or whatever you call it, yeah, and just enjoy it for what it is, which is going to be a bit me and Ethan time. Do you set school work or teach them more about outdoor and real life? It's a bit of both, Rach. And it's changed over the years, because obviously as they grow up, lessons change as well. So when they were younger, we were focused very much on like core mathematics, with English, it's about spelling, about increasing the vocabulary, about being able to read properly. But then there's a lot of other stuff. So, like, for instance, let's focus on Ethan, as what he's going to be here. So when he's here, he has a list of things he has to do in the morning, which is a little bit of spelling work. And it used to be that you'd have a lot of maths work with that as well, but these days that they've moved on to more advanced stuff. So rather than having him like going over his times tables and stuff, or some basic algebra stuff in the morning, and like we used to have him practicing like long division and long multiplication and stuff. Instead of doing all that sort of basic stuff, we've moved on to other things. So he'll do like half an hour of work on his keyboard skills and his music theory. He'll also do his practice with what his music teacher actually gives him, like a set piece on the keyboard. But then also he'll do some singing, practice singing and stuff like that. Then there's the Spanish sort of work, as well as some basic maths and other stuff as well. Yeah, so there's like some basic sort of things he gets through each day, and he has to sort of like look to practice and progress in different areas. But then there's a lot of like life skill stuff as well, where we go out and we do adventures, and I try to wrap up what they've been learning in around real world. And then there's like experience stuff as well, like they have like homeschool groups where they put on things as well, like the local sort of, it's Shuttleworth College, and they have like the Shuttleworth collection where it's all like airplanes and that. And they'll have like a little engineers day over there and things like that. We're looking into getting Henry some, like, a bit of a course in fishing at the moment, because he's really into fishing, and we think that's maybe where his passion's going to be. So I've been talking to his mum about that. They both have their online lessons and in-person lessons at the centre, where they're like starting to work on GCSEs and things. Yeah, so it's a whole mishmash of things really, and it started off like as one thing, and it's grown as we go. And like things like in the evening when they have their journals, which is it's a part of their sort of reading writing skills, but also about mental health sort of skills as well, being able to think, like take time to think about positives and be grateful for what you have in the day and stuff like that. So loads of stuff. Hi, I forget what your name is, or did you ever even tell me? I don't think I got your name ever. Yeah, I never got how to say that at all. But welcome back. I recognise you, but I just can't remember how to say your name. What's Kat saying? I do the grid method for long multiplication, but still not able to do long division. It is too sophisticated for me for some peculiar reason. Yeah, I mean, I'm good at maths. I did maths at university, so none of it really I struggle with all that basic stuff. But yeah, it's like teaching algebra and stuff. That was always quite fun though. I started off with like scales, so we built some scales. So that's the sort of thing you put a lot of things in. So we build some scales, so understand how scales work, and we talked a little bit about leverage and about measurements during that time, and then basically use the scales to weigh coins, and you find that basically a 2p weighs twice as much as a 1p, and then you can start doing things like, okay, well if we put like a £2 coin in, how many pennies does that weigh, right? And then you go, okay, so if that £2 weighed this many pennies, how many 2p's does it weigh? And then you can go, okay, so if we put like how compare that to like say this box of whatever, and then this or like we've got like a bolt or something, put a bolt in, find out how many pennies that is, and then find something else that weighs so many bolts, and you can go, okay, that what bolt weighs so many, and then you can start using algebra to say, well, okay, you can work out from the weight of one thing and what you know about the weight of something else, like you can use the comparisons and you can basically create algebraic expressions. And that was their introduction to algebra, and then we sort of take it from there and start working on maybe distance stuff and whatnot. And again, we start talking about miles and kilometers and things, and it's trying to work it all in a way that it makes sense in your head. So rather than being in a classroom going, this is all just stuff written down in a book with maybe the odd picture and you don't understand anything, but in the real world you can take them out and go, right, this is how we're doing it. So if you're talking about measurements, well, let's get a tape measure out or ruler, and let's make something and make you have to work with measurements. That's a better way to learn about measurements. And then also there's basic maths in there. And then we do things like that with like proper, like, scale things like on miles and things like that, and they have to start. So that's where the geocaching was quite fun, was that they learned to read a map and stuff. Not like proper map reading, because to be fair, they were using the digital one, but that's mostly what you use these days anyway. Marry me one day, I see in the chat. You never know, but I don't even know your name. You still haven't told me what your name is. Let me know. If you want me to marry you, got to start with somewhere, and the name would be quite good. Yeah, S&A is about the best we've got so far, isn't it? That's right, Kat. Sue's back, says, sounds like your children will be well equipped to deal with everyday life as they become adults, something they don't teach kids in schools. That is true. I think that's one of the reasons why we went at homeschooling, is schools teach them a lot of what, like, I can't call it nonsense, because, it depends what you end up wanting to be in. Like, if you want to be a historian, or if you want to go out and be a geologist, you've got to know a lot about history. If you want to be out there being like, if you want to work with maybe AI or something like that, you're going to need to have probably some level of mathematical background, even if it's just for like the logical stuff of it and whatnot. So like I learned a load of like coding languages for developing websites and stuff when I was running the business and developing the site for that. But thankfully I had a background in mathematics, so that wasn't that difficult. But without that, I mean, it would get crazy. Oh, Stephanie's back in with some chat. You deleted all the last stuff, Stephanie. What on earth is going on with you? But yeah, it's definitely, I wouldn't say that the education system is broken as badly as some things in this country, but it's a bit misguided. I mean, to be fair, if it depends how you look at it. In all fairness, the education system is two things. It is a way to get the basic level of knowledge and understanding of the populace up to a level where we can all do better basic work. And if you look at how much people used to know, like you go back 100 years, for instance, people didn't know much, whereas like now they know a lot of stuff, like just as a basic. But also, it's just babysitting as well. If you think about it, it's so that parents can go out and be productive and have a work life, but they can't all leave their kids at home. So what do? Well, they go to a place where they can be looked after, and while you're there, double whammy, let's teach them something. And if you look at it like that, our school system isn't making like, the greatest minds in the world, like realistically, that many of them. It does all right for some. It depends what schools you go to, I guess. And so it's a bit hit and miss. But at the end of the day, it depends on what your level of expectations are with schools. But I'd say that the thing that schools fall down mostly is because they've always been geared towards academic stuff, rather than, as we were saying, life skills, and particularly mental health skills. Like, I think mental health is something that should be taught in schools from a young age. And I'd say it's probably the most important lessons, more than maths, more than English, more than science. I think it should be the core subject, like mental positivity and mental health, how to like figure out about your emotions, how to deal with them properly. You know, they'll do sex education, but yet they won't do what. How do you deal with it if your parents are going through a divorce, or how do you deal with it if there's like some sort of like, you know, abuse happened in that household or anything like that. Like, and only if someone goes through something that is really obvious and there's been like, you know, like some sort of, you know, situation where an adult has stepped in and gone, an issue's happened, we need to get a social worker involved. But it's like, you shouldn't be waiting until it's happened. I mean, that's basically like a police officer standing outside your house watching a criminal attempting to break in and go, yeah, I won't nick him yet. He's got to go in. He's got to break your door. And he's got to start ransacking your stuff. And only when he starts taking out the building and leaves the premises will I actually step in and do anything. It'd be nonsense, right? And I think that's something that they should do. They should, for every child should be taught in school about like relationships, like your mental health, and how to like look after yourself, how to spot the signs if you're depressed or if you're struggling with something emotionally, and the people around you as well, how to spot it with those. And I just think that there's so many things that could be taught that would help people, and even just how to deal with other people, how to understand other people, like the lack of empathy out there for people sometimes, which is something I try to show on this channel. We get some complete randoms in here sometimes that are just obviously just seeking attention, and they get quite a negative flack from some people, and I'm like, no, there's no need to be negative. They're in here, they're wanting this as much as anyone else. Let's give them some time, let's let them settle in. You know, if they can't get there, then, you know, time out sometimes given and stuff like that. You know, there's people who are just complete. Oh, it just went weird. Yeah, I do. There are some people who come in and they're completely out of order, and I do have to just ban them from the room. But that's like a, you know, that's usually a very clear sign that somebody's in here just being nasty, and I won't have it. But if somebody's in here and they're just a bit chaotic, you know, I like to give a bit of a benefit of the doubt, just like I would if I was met that person in real life. I meet people as a van lifer. It's quite weird sometimes. You meet people who are very kind of like aggressively want to like kind of chat to you, and they want to talk about their life and stuff like that, and it almost feels a bit odd, like they're like almost, hate to use the word desperate, but it kind of comes across like that. And a lot of people would like step back from that. I see that even as a window cleaner, where like a lady will come out or a gent will come out, and they've obviously been hanging around the house on their own all day, and they just want to have a chit chat. And I'm like, yeah, I'll have a little chit chat with you, no problem. And I engage, because I know that for them, that might be the highlight of their week. That I can think of one lady in particular where, even though she even has family who live with her, like her daughter doesn't spend much time talking to her and doesn't have patience for her. And so she comes out and she's talking about everything that's happened to her in the week, or like the last month even. And for her, it's like a chance just to like have an interaction. And I'm like, I give value to that. And I think it's that sort of understanding of other people that they don't put into school, and they don't make you understand, you know, your friend said something nasty, they don't necessarily mean to make you upset. They were maybe going through something, and like little things like that that they don't teach, and it should be basic lessons that they just ram into you, that like week after week. Forget about 1+1. How about, you know, friend is in need, this is how you deal with, this is how you recognize. I mean, it's so much more important. It really is. Or I've missed some. Do you know Stephanie's retracted another message? Hold on, right, I'm going back up. Let's see. So it doesn't mean I won't call you out if you retract your message, Stephanie. But I mean it in all love and humour. Yeah. Max is in. Hi, Max. Good to see you. I remembered your name. Haha. Which type? What's Kat saying? Which type of education? Nursery, primary, secondary, or post 16? If we're talking about, if you're talking about what I was just saying about like the mental health stuff, I think they should be doing that from day one. I mean, it's different levels as you go. Like with the maths, you're not going to teach somebody who's 5 years old about advanced, you know, geometry or I don't know, partial like differentiation or something. You're not gonna teach them anything like that. You're gonna start off with 1+1, and it's same like that with the mental health stuff. You can start off with the very simple stuff, like recognize, like about friendship and stuff. And there's TV shows that try to do that. Like I remember Millie Molly was a really lovely show for this. And if no one's seen that, you should check it out. There's a lot of it on YouTube. It's called Millie Molly, and some of that is just amazing. It's one of probably the most amazing kids shows I've ever seen, and I think it's like an Australian thing or something. I'm not sure. I think it's from Australia. Amazing show, and it's like all geared around trying to teach you about how, like, unlike Peppa Pig that tries to show you that you can just be naughty all the time and it's all fine, which is a terrible thing. This show was all about these two little girls are the salt of the earth, and they've got people around them who sometimes are struggling and need a little bit of guidance, need a little bit of patience, need a little bit of help. And my lord, this show was amazing. And I used to watch it with the boys like religiously because I felt like it engaged them, but also they were learning something from it. And I do think that that's partly why Ethan has such great empathy for people and great sensitivity to emotions and stuff. And I don't know how much of it stuck with Henry, but I think some of it did. Max said, "No, I think number one thing they should teach is how to be nice towards each other." Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about, really, Max. Is like how to being nice is about recognizing what somebody else needs and trying to like respect that, appreciate that. You know, somebody needs your time, needs you just to listen. You know, like that's something they don't teach. Sometimes somebody is talking about their nonsense. They don't maybe need you to solve it. They just need you to listen to it. And being able to recognise that what that person's sort of actually needing, whether they need help or they just need an ear, or you know, it's really important, but it's very difficult. And if you've not been taught, if it's not been explained, you can go for years, decades even, without getting it or getting any of that. And that's the problem. There's people out there, they're adults even, and they've never been taught this, and they don't understand, and they're going through life. Like I remember having a conversation with my ex, the boy's mum. You know, and we're quite old at this point. We're adults. You know, we're married. We've got kids, and I had a conversation with her. I said, "You do realise that, like, you know, people aren't actually walking around watching you and judging everything you're doing. They are mostly absorbed in what they're doing. Like, if you were doing something crazy, like if you were walking down the high street and wearing like a weird costume and like giving it all big styles, people will be looking at you and wondering what you're doing. They might still not even be judging you. They'll just be curious what on earth's going on. But she would go and always worried about what people were going to think about every little thing she did. You know, I don't know, people are going to think it weird. I don't know if this top goes with these trousers. I'm like, well, yeah, don't worry about it. It's like, no, not many people are really like looking at what you're wearing. And they go, well, no. And she couldn't grasp it because she'd remembered her parents judging people in front of her and making comments, like either to her or in front of her about other people, because her parents did go around judging people. And I had to say to her, yeah, but that's your parents. Not everybody does that. But she'd learned from a young age that that was normal behaviour, that everyone was doing that. So she was doing it to other people. She thought people were doing it. I said, no, most people aren't doing that. That's not a normal thing. And you know, there were definitely people out there like that. But then it's the understanding that if there's somebody out there judging you just off of really simple things like that, does their judgment even warrant worrying about? Because what kind of person is that who's walking around judging people? And like trying to understand, and she started to grasp that, and she got very confident with it. And to the point where when we were in van life, you know, you get looks sometimes because as a van life, you pull up somewhere, people see a weird looking vehicle, I'm pulling up with solar panels, and they're like, what's going on? And then like a family moving around, and they're like, blimey, like you get a lot of attention. And she got over that pretty quick with it, I will say. Cheers, Rach. I hope you think I'm talking sense. I do my best. Am I behind on the chat? I am a bit. I'm going to try to get through some. Sue saying, I totally agree with teaching about mental health. People need to be more kind and more tolerant to others. There are a lot of lonely people about that. Is true. Do you know what? I'd say there's more lonely people than there were not lonely people. And I include everybody in that. You got married people who are lonely. I was lonely for years in my marriage. It's crazy. And there were people who could be sitting right beside another person. They feel lonely as hell because it's not about having people around you. It's about being connected with people, and that's a very different thing. If you understand that you could be stood by a stranger and you're not connected, and so just because you've been around somebody a long time, it doesn't mean you're connected. And yeah, it's a big difference. Humongous. I think I've recognised that name. Uh, it is a load-bearing wall behind you. What, this thing? Yes, technically, I'm in a van, but this is the wall that load bears the thing above me. Like, I'll give you a look. Ethan's bed is up there. That's his bed. So yeah, that is a load-bearing wall, and it's bearing my load as well because I'm leaning on it. So Stephanie's saying, no, it's just a wardy cat thinks I'm stupid if you read other messages. Whoa, what's that? What's Cat been saying? Did Cat say something? Oh, Cat's retracted message. Yeah, be nice, Cat. Be nice. Sorry, Stephanie, I did not see any of that, but I will keep my eye peeled for that now. We will not have. Well, it looks a bit damning, Cat, because you retracted a lot of statements yourself, and maybe didn't exactly say it, but try to be respectful of what people are saying. Especially because if it means I lose the chance to see what somebody's saying to me, that is mildly upsetting for me. I will be honest. I think that's one of the reasons why I tease Stephanie about it, because I'd like her not to retract messages, because it makes me feel like there was something I missed, and it makes me feel a bit bad for missing what was said. So please don't say things that make other people feel like they want to take back their words. That is not cool. Hey, Dan's in. Dan Gaze. High five for you, my man. Good to see you. Yeah, we're doing good on Saturday night. Although my fire is once again low, so let's go and tinker before I read. Well, I'll read Sue's message first. Sue's message. Would you consider entering into a new relationship? Has your past experience? Oh, cool. No, I'm very ready to be in a new relationship, but I'm not rushing in terms of like headlong into things at the moment. Just seeing how it goes. I'm contemplating that in the spring I might get onto the apps if I haven't found somebody in real life. But yeah, I'm hoping that maybe I can sort of start venturing into doing some sort of activities that can lead me to meeting some cool people. Yeah, and the idea is I do want to find my partner, my life partner, if you want, or the that one. I am a completely hopeless romantic, so I do think there is that one special person out there somewhere for me. I'll find her one day. I just got to keep looking. You say you're leaving, Stephanie. How come? Now, what's going on? What's this? Hold on, I'm going to show that one. That's human. Max is said, "Yeah, what's this? Yeah, me and Molly are in a relationship now. No homo." Dearie me. Oh dear. I'm sorry if like now. I'm thinking Stephanie's a bit upset, and that has upset me, to be honest, guys. I'm not happy about that at all. And I apologise, Stephanie, if you're not feeling welcome in the chat, but you are very much loved. And yeah, I hope you're not been left too upset by anything that's been said. I'm sorry I didn't manage to catch what was going on. We've got Max saying Tinder is my recommendation, brother, but don't pay for it as it will hardly increase the matches. To be fair, the only thing I've done so far is I did Hinge sort of early last year and a bit before, sort of around this time, like basically. Yeah, so earlier this year and then and slightly into last year, so back in the 2024, and then I think I don't know when I stopped, but it was basically there was a woman I dated who, like, I really liked her, but things progressed a bit too quickly, and yeah, and then she had like a like, you know, just I'm not quite sure. She seemed to like get a bit panicked about something, and she didn't really explain herself, but yeah, she didn't leave me feeling very good about it. So I was like, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of like the problem is the S word comes into play a bit too soon sometimes, and I'm definitely feeling like I don't really want to rush into that the next time I start dating a woman. The expectation for that to happen quickly seems to be a bit of an unacceptably quick thing these days, and I've had a bit enough of that. So yeah, I will be taking a little bit more control of the pace of things, I think, going forward, is what I'd say. What's your favourite place in the world you have visited? Ooh, that's a good question. Let me think about that one. I'm not very good at picking favourites, I'm going to be honest. So I'll probably say like a ton of places. What's Dan saying? Are you streaming every night, mate? Yeah, Dan. The whole point is to do this for a year. So every day for a year. Sometimes it's only half an hour, if that's all I can fit in. These days I'm trying to, just go as long as it feels right. And I enjoy it enough that like tonight we've gone 2 hours and it's like, it goes as long as it goes. Talking of which, I might have to plug in because this is going to make the stream go funky. I do apologise, but it's going to go weird for a second. There we go. That's it. It's sorted. I do apologise. It's always annoying when that happens. So yeah. So what we got here? Oh, we've got James in. Hi, James. Let me just go back up. So yeah, we had. So Sue was saying, "What's your favourite place in the world you have visited?" It's a good question, Sue. I'm so terrible with favourites. Oh, favourite place I've visited. I mean, there's a lot of good places. It's not really about the place so much as who I was with and what happened more, I would say. Favourite place. Oh, that's a difficult question. There are too many good places. There really are. There's too many good places. I mean, recently I revisited Gloucester just because of how my memories from the walk across the country. When I got to Gloucester, it was such a high point for me at that time in my life. And yeah. But then I have great fond memories of Brighton, being at uni there. That's where I met Noah. I don't know. I can't pick a favourite place. I really can't. What's this James saying? Get stuck straight in with what? Obviously, that was at a point I was saying something, and I've not seen it in time. As long as you're 6 foot and over, yeah, I'm 6 foot. Have a nice welcoming bio and have nice pictures, then you should be good. As I get about 1 match a day, which I'm more than happy with. But 1 match a day is way too many. What the hell? No. So this is one of the troubles, right? I did Hinge, and you would get like you would get nothing for a few days because whatever, and then the weekend would get close, and suddenly there's a few matches coming, and you've got to talk to all of them because you can't just go, oh, I'll talk one at a time. I tried that at the start, very start. I tried to be like, I'd talk to one, but then like another one's got like, you're like, okay, I don't want to miss the opportunity, so I talk. But then like it felt weird, so because I'd arranged a date with one, I didn't want to talk to the others until I kind of done that date. But I felt like I didn't really want to leave them hanging and ghosting, so I kind of said like I'm gonna have to give it a minute because I'm not comfortable like talking to many women at once, and that didn't go. That went down like a lead balloon. So I learnt my lesson, and I can't base. So I have to play this stupid game, which I really hate, which is that you have to talk to multiple people at the same time and work out multiple dates, and then go on multiple dates. And I hate that. I hate that with a vengeance. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure how to get around that because the women did not like to have a chat online first. You have to kind of go straight out for the date, and I'm like, oh, it's just too many. It's just too many. But then there's a bit of me that doesn't want to say like just dismiss a potential match because it's like you don't know, that woman could be the one. How do I know until I've met her and said hello, had a chat with her, looked in her in the eyes? How the hell do I know if she's the one or not? Just from like a profile on an app. But so how do I dismiss this person? Like, I mean, yeah, you can say, I'm not into this person. There's a certain level of physical attractiveness needed, sure, and I can tell from a profile if they're just not my cup of tea. If they've got loads of fancy like expensive stuff on there, and they're obviously traveling to expensive places, and they've like got all of and they're into stuff. They're into a lot of stuff. I'm like, that's obviously not my person. We see me living in a van, minimalist life. I'm a minimalist, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not into somebody who's into stuff, and that things like that, big swing stuff. You can go, okay, that's not for me, and that's fine. And there's the other way around as well. I had some woman who basically said, like, what's your job? I told her my job, and she was not impressed. She said, no, I need someone like educated. I was like, thank you very much, I'm educated, went to uni. She's like, well, why can't you get a job then? And I was like, I have, this is the one I picked. I didn't have the heart to explain to her that I'd built a whole business from scratch and had like more than a dozen people working for me, and I'm quite educated, but just I choose to do physical work because it's much healthier for me, and I love to be outdoors, and I'd rather do that than sitting behind a desk and being all stressed. And it's like, my lord, but this, and there was no point having the argument, because like, yeah, fine, I'm not for you, you're not for me. Let's call that next. But yeah, I don't do well this whole multiple thing. I hate that. And one a day, no way, no way. What is the worst that can happen? I have one match a day, I think. Jeez. Good to hear. Mate, you should be famous. Your channel is inspiring. You have most amazing. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. And Sue, you love Cornwall. Yeah, oh, yeah, that could be a winner. Because Noah's from Cornwall, and I went down, stayed at his parents' place. I won't say where, because I'm not giving away personal details or something. But where he comes from, gorgeous. And then like nearby, like beaches around that sort of area, lovely quality beaches. But like just where he comes from, it was so lovely, and the time we spent there was great. Yeah, Cornwall's a beauty place. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that'd be up there on the list of places I'd love to end up settling down in. We've got Boki saying hi. Hi, Boki. I think I've pronounced that right, hopefully. Oh, Max got modded. What's it? I haven't read the whole thing, but so you guys are talking about like, oh, so wait. So what was James saying? Mate, you should be famous. You should be, what's James saying? Oh, back getting stuck straight. Oh, I see. And you're saying what's worse? Oh, and Max is saying he could end up going around a chick's house who turns out to be a fruitcake with a portable toilet in her front room just because she has a broken ankle, and then use it in front of you. I mean, I'm going to be honest, right? That sounds mental, but at the same time, probably wouldn't put me off if she had a lovely personality. Oh dear. I'd probably just help her with the broken ankle and figure out a better thing than a portable toilet for her, and try to solve the problems. That's me. Oh, dear me. Not that happened to me or anything. Yeah. Sus. Best thing to do is not take it too seriously. Yeah, I have a difficulty not taking it seriously. I'll be honest. That's probably my bag. And honest brother, a person like that is someone no one should want. Are you talking about the? I'm not sure. Are you talking about the one with the toilet in the room? Jeez. We got Hassan. Is that, I'm saying right? Oh no, the steering wheel on the other side. Yeah, probably. Sue's saying there's a wonderful woman who is deserving of you out there somewhere. I'm sure you will bump into her when you least expect it. That is the hope, Sue. That is the hope. I mean, sooner than later, preferably, but we find them when we find them. Rachel, I think you will meet someone from your channel. Well, I already did, obviously, with Louise. That did not work out. But unlike who's the one who chases the Wile E. No, it's the Wile E. Coyote, isn't it? Is it? So who chases the road runner? Unlike the Wile E. Coyote, I do not learn my lessons wrong. I learn them right, which is that it's a fine enough way to meet somebody through the channel, and it hasn't closed me off to that idea, like what happened with Louise. But it has opened my eyes to some of these potential issues, and also like how that is an issue overall, just with like that. Like dating apps as a whole, which is why I might be leaning towards like I'm giving it like brain power thought now into how is the best way to meet the right kind of people, and how to do it in a way where it's a bit more honest. Because the trouble is, the way that we meet people these days is not particularly honest. Because as soon as you've got technology involved, and you think about it, think about how you text people, and think about how you talk to somebody in real life, right? And not just like, I'm not talking, not at this stage, just think about like if you meet a stranger and you talk to them, and you meet a stranger online and you write to them, you're different, and you know you are, because you have chance to think about what you're talking about, right? In text format, and they don't necessarily have to, they have to fill in about what your expression is, how much attention you're paying. They don't get to see if, well, just before you bothered to message them, you were looking at somebody else's message and things like that, or you were watching the TV while you were distractedly doing it. Whereas in real life, if you behaved like that, they'd see it, and then they wouldn't like that, and then the reaction is very different. So there's very differences between the reactions, and it means it's not that honest. But then you also have to think, yeah, but what if you're actually on a date with this person as opposed to chatting to them online or whatever, or like, or that sort of thing. And you have to go, yeah, you know, more contact with a person means more insight into who they are, how they are. And sometimes we feel like we've got like an insight into a person, and we feel like we know them because we've been talking to them, whatever. And this happened actually with the first woman that I dated, that I met on the apps, where we were chatting for about a week and a half, because we had to wait until the first, like, she wasn't available for a first date for about a week and a half, and we ended up having way too many conversations. But we were both in that situation where we didn't want to kind of leave the other person hanging, and it was a bit like, do we just not talk for a week and a half? But that might seem weird, so maybe we have to talk. And then we ended up in more deep conversations than we should have done, and the problem was they weren't that honest. So like, it's something I'm going to touch on one of my videos, because like I definitely want to touch on this as a whole on videos. But essentially, it's this issue of putting your best foot forward. And we all know this, the honeymoon phase, that phase where you try harder in a relationship, and you kind of like, you hide the crazy, and you show all the best bits. And you can do that because you only have a certain level of contact, and the less contact you have, the easier it is that is to do. And I think that's the problem, is like, Louise came on thinking that I was going to be like I am with you guys here the whole time. And I'm not. I have my sad moments. I have my moments where I'm a bit like, yeah, I just need a bit of zombie out, and I need to watch my screen and just like not think about anything. And I have times when I've got to like work. The weird thing, really weird one, was that she didn't like me streaming. And she wanted me to spend time with her in the evenings instead of streaming. But she also knew she couldn't ask me not to stream because I'd made a commitment. And if we all think about it, that's one of the things about me. If you don't like someone who knows how to commit about something, then I ain't the person for you. Because when I figure out a commitment and I make that commitment, I'm going to stick to it. And so she knew she couldn't ask me not to do it, but she didn't like the fact that I prioritised getting on the stream. But then, like, when she told me that, I'm like, okay, well, I'll make time for you before I stream if that's what you need, and when we can have time afterwards, and I'll do my best, and I'll work it around you rather than working you around the stream. That's totally, I get that, but yeah, she had an issue with that, even though she knew before meeting me I was doing the streaming thing. Weird. But there's these other things where, you know, you don't see everything, even on a stream, let alone through texting. And like, I don't know you guys, so like, I talk to you guys like friends. And some of you I know very well, but I mean, I don't know most of your faces. I don't know like some of your genders. I don't know like ages and stuff. And yeah, there's loads of things I don't know. But we forgive all that because it's just then that's what makes relationships a little bit easier online. But yeah, but this is something I've noticed. Is essentially, getting off the tangent a little bit, is when you go on dating apps, or if I'm meeting somebody through the channel even, the issue is, there's a certain amount of, you think you know the person, and then you meet up, and then it turns out that's not the person that they were, and it's like, ah. And so I had this with this woman, as I was saying, that like we were texting her. It turned out she was putting forward like, and this happened with Louise as well, where when there's minimal contact and stuff like that, they can say the right thing, and they can say what they would have said if that is the person they are. And so you can kind of be the person you want to be rather than the person you are, which is that you don't think of the right thing to say until like a minute later. And you don't, and when someone says something, sometimes you respond reactively rather than taking a moment to go, why did they say that? Oh, they're feeling like this. So maybe they want this response from me, and like that but you can take this time when it's all virtual. So yeah, it's a whole thing. It really is. So it's a bit of a lesson like that, but it hasn't as a whole put me off meeting somebody on the channel. But it's not something also that I'm going to seek out like super actively or anything like that. It's just part of like I'm going to meet someone when I meet somebody. It's not a big deal. And I've missed loads of chat. I've got to go back now. Right, right. Let's see where we were. Max saying, well, yeah, her too, but I meant the one who wanted you to get a different job. Oh, yeah, no, well, that's it. That lasted all of about, I don't know, half an hour of conversation, and that was gone. Sue saying, the way a text is interpreted can come over all wrong. Nothing like a face-to-face conversation. Years ago, people met at weddings, parties, or introduction from friends. Exactly. That's the sort of thing I'm talking about. Going out, maybe doing a hobby and meeting somebody through that. Social events of all sorts of kinds, yeah. It's a little bit of an easier way to work out if you like somebody or not. I mean, to be fair, you know, it's about effort. So if like to take Louise as a point, just because it's the most freshest thing, like she knew what she wanted to do, and consciously she would make a lot of effort, but subconsciously she would slip into a very kind of selfish kind of like perspective on things, and it used to leave me a bit jarred when she would, like, you know, no problem if someone needs a bit of attention, and if anything I'd like to give it, but when they need it in a specific way, and they can't take a minute to look at themselves, but then and expect me to do like all of the kind of like, you know, there's a meet in the middle, not I walk to you every time and you can keep walking backwards and I keep walking towards you. You know, the analogy would be maybe flying a kite or something, and like if the person holding the kite keeps walking back, instead of walking backwards, keeps walking towards you, and you have to keep walking backwards to straighten the line out. But essentially, it always seemed like she was making it more and more hard work for me, rather than stopping. Like she would talk like in messages and stuff as if she was the kind of person she would stop and think about her own actions, her own like motivations, and see things from my perspective a certain way. But in real life, that didn't really come across, and yeah, that wasn't a great thing. But to be fair, I had my issues. I didn't see all that until after the fact, because I get all a bit like rose tinted glasses when I like somebody. I kind of like end up like ignoring all of the red flags. It's really stupid. Max saying, yeah, I don't like how on dating apps I can talk to them with pieces of pineapple in my ears and everything's fine, and then I do it in person and they don't like it. Well, you're not meeting the right people then. I mean, who doesn't like a bit of pineapple in the ears? I mean, you are talking like with the spike still on as well. You know, if you're just talking like a bit of the orange like flesh, no good. Nobody wants that. But if you're talking like, you know, skin on, pointy bits, we're good. I was told I should be committed once, says Sparker. Well, I think we all should have been once at least, Sparker, to be fair. Max saying I have been. I'm not sure what that was referenced to. Sue saying, have you seen the film You've Got Mail with Tom? Of course I've seen that. Yeah. Good movie, that. I mean, it's a bit of like a remake of some of the other ones that they've like, you know, they've had these people do. But yeah, it's a solid movie, that proper rom-com. I'm into the old rom-coms, I've got to say. I used to watch a lot of them, still do. It's more the sort of thing I watch with a partner, to be fair, these days. But yeah. Facts, brother, it's the new style. Yeah. Oh dear. And you know what pineapple is good for as well, don't you, Max? It makes something taste very sweet, apparently. So they say. So a man's supposed to eat a lot of pineapple. To be fair, I don't like pineapple, so it's a bit of a moot point, but yeah. Oh, it was to Sparker saying he should have been. Oh, I see. Yeah, fair play. What is Rach laughing at now? Are you laughing at all our banter about pineapple? I love that. I don't know. I'm assuming that's a total myth about the pineapple. Yeah, I'm assuming it's a total myth about the pineapple thing being like making something sweeter. Like that's the kind of thing you hear like as kids, and and someone's made it sound like it's legit. I honestly don't know. But I also know that that's not one that the Mythbusters was ever going to put on their show to like bust the myth or not. Could you imagine that? I can't remember the name of the two guys, but we all know the Mythbusters, surely, where they would like come up with like a myth. The one that sticks in my mind is the whole torture method where they tie a guy down to a bit of ground, and they basically grow a bit of bamboo through him, and they tried that, and it actually does, and it grows through, and it's like, oh, that's gruesome. Or like they did one with like the trains where they stand next to trains to see if you get sucked into the train when it goes by, and that's total nonsense as well. But they did all sorts of things, and I was like, yeah, I bet that's the one of the myths they can't bust though. Max saying, it was when I was 16, got sectioned into adult secure psychiatric ward for 3 weeks. The fun we had, oh yes. And I bet the moment that you put the pineapple in your ears and they realised that you were normal, that's when they let you out. I know it. Yeah, Mythbusters was legendary. It really was. It was top-notch stuff, that. It's top-notch stuff. He still has his own channel, one of the guys, doesn't he? He just does some random stuff. But I don't really watch a lot of... I just see a lot of the old stuff coming up in my feed sometimes. Ooh, excuse me. It is getting late. Oh, my God, it's nearly 11. It is probably time to wrap this up, guys. It's been a lovely chat, though. It's one of those late ones. But, yeah, we'll wrap it up. We'll do 10 more minutes or something. We'll try and get this finished at like 11 o'clock, I think. Pineapples are also used on cruise ships. If you put them outside your cabin door, it means you are a swinger. Oh, really? Now, that's something I'd never be into, to be fair. I don't know if anyone else in the chat is. And I don't judge at all, but I'm a very much a one-woman kind of guy. I'm like, yeah. It's... I can see how people do it. You know, there's polyamorous people. Some of my friends are polyamorous, and yeah, I get it. Don't judge the lifestyle. But for me, it's like I want to put all my energy into that one person, and I'd want them to do the same for me. And yeah, it's just like there's a lot of like, you know, for the sex stuff. And there's got to be emotional connection. Otherwise, it's just what's the point? And I'm not sure how, if you're swinging, you'd get that. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, pretty sure. I only learnt that last month, and no, I'm definitely not. So when you learnt it, was it that you went in the room by mistake because you thought they were like, you know, it was like some place to get your pineapple from, or did someone tell you and you had to go and try it out? I'm joking, mate. Oh, we got modded chat. Who got modded? Yes, I've got it. Oh, I started doing this thing where just let me see the message. Well, we can show that. We're doing adult chat. So Max saying he'd sleep with another dude's wife if the dude was cool with it, but not watching or having it recorded. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I mean, it would not be fun for me at all. Like, you know, your friend is a cruiser. You mean that they go on cruise ships, or that they do the swinging? I don't know. I don't know which one you mean, or is it both? You can tell I'm ignorant to all this stuff, Rach, I tell you. Oh dear. Max saying, I swear I must have been modded a record number of times. Nah, I tell you, some people just get modded for the most nonsense stuff. There was a lot of modding earlier for Ambrose because he or she, I think Ambrose is a she, maybe. I'm not sure, but they got modded a lot just because they started spamming loads of emojis, and eventually the auto mod just went, yeah, too many emojis, you're gone. And not that it just deleted the messages as they were coming in, or modded them, and I didn't bother to show them, is what I mean. Not that they got like timed out or banned or anything. So you're saying, what would your ideal date be? Oh, that's a good question. That is a good question. Now, so there's ideal date for me, which I think is what you're asking for, and I'll think about that for a second while I talk about what I normally do for dates. So I have been on one dinner date because the woman was pretty, like, the chat went pretty well. She kind of knew what she wanted. She was a very confident kind of woman. She knew what she wanted, and I liked that. The problem is it translated that she also knew what she wanted so much that the first date that was supposed to be like a nice meal ended up feeling like a proper job interview. And I think she was into me because I think I ticked all the boxes, but I was not into her because I don't like being ticked into boxes, for want of better words. And yeah, but a meal's quite nice. But quite often I go for like if like at first I didn't want to suggest this because I thought tell me this, right? This is a question for everyone else actually. This is one of those ones where I find it quite weird, right? It's a normal thing to go on a walking date, like go off into the footpaths or whatever and have just have a walk, right? And I've done that quite a few times. And quite often the women will even want me to figure out where to meet up and where to walk. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, right? But now if I was a woman, I would not, A, want the guy to choose the place, B, go off in the middle of nowhere with a random guy I've never met before, right? That surely doesn't seem like the safest way to have a first date, which is why I think most women, like who I've sort of chatted with, are like, you have to get a feel. Sometimes you feel like the woman wants you to make the choices, but sometimes you feel like this is the kind of woman she wants input in the choice, and so you have to kind of like figure that out. But often, if they're wanting input, they usually just go a little like coffee date, like a drink somewhere, because it's a very casual, low kind of risk thing. We're only committed for a short period of time. If we don't like each other, you can disengage quickly. It's safe because there's people around, but yet it can be cozy and it's quiet enough that you can have a chat. But you don't feel like so because like a movie would be terrible for a first date. You can't have a chat or anything. But like I like a walking date. I like to have a little walk around, and I think it can be, nice. A couple of times even I've had a walking date and the girls wanted to hold hands, which is on a first date. I'm fully aware that's for some people that's like, whoa, that's a lot, and other people it's like, it could be fairly normal if you really like each other. Yeah, and I think a walking date with maybe a drink or something's quite nice. It just depends how it goes. Like there's been first dates where they've lasted like the minimum amount of time for a drink, and then there's been other first dates where like we've met up for like a walk or a drink, and then it's like I remember the Heather was like, we met up for a drink with the idea that we might go for a walk if it goes well. The drink went well, so we went for a walk down the canal in Cambridge, and Cambridge is a lovely place for a walk. And then at the end we had another drink, and then we wanted to continue, so then we went over to another spot what I know over at Wimpole to have a little walk around there, and it was all quite sort of romantic, and I liked that. And it ended up being a hugely long date, as you can imagine, and that's quite nice when you're clicking enough that the date just keeps going on and it's all feeling comfortable. That's lovely. I don't think for me now. You're talking about ideal date. I don't think that because there's been lots of nice dates I've been on. Like I went on a date where we did some, like this was, the first date was just like meeting up for drinks, but then the second date was like we did a bit of badminton and then went to coffee shop, like Hotel Chocolat to like get basically drinks, and they had like a factory outlet for some bits and pieces, and we even popped into B&Q because it was next door and she wanted something from B&Q, and it was all a lovely date because it's more about the person. So I'm not really worried about what I'm doing on the date personally. It's more about is it clicking, and like, and are they like a nice person? So like if my perfect date would be meet the right person, and we'd probably be holding hands and chatting all day long. Yeah, and that'd be a nice first date. But where we do it is like it could be at a coffee shop, it could be over dinner, it could be walking, it could be all free. I mean, who knows? Yeah. But sorry, that's probably not really answered your question too well. But as per usual, me picking a favourite thing is like pulling nails, basically. Yeah. We've got some Max was saying, see, I don't do dates. I just talk to someone for a few months, video call. We sure we like each other, and then meet at mine or hers. I mean, I tell you, Max, if it's working for you, you crack on with that, mate. That's a pretty fair tactic. Spark saying seems very weird. Are you talking? I'm going to assume you're talking to Max. Rach saying, I think coffee date is best for first date. There you go. See, I told you, Rach is one of those, and I kind of agree with that. I think a solid first date, if you've like, the general just for me is if so on Hinge there was this rule where I worked it out within 3 messages I have to ask for a date. If I haven't asked within three messages, they think I'm not interested and they kind of move on to the next one. I mean, I assume all these women have got the attention span of people watching TikTok at this point, which is just mind-boggling. That's not always the case. Once I'd asked for a date, you could then go on a bit further, but they kind of needed me to ask for a date first, and then we would chat a little bit more sometimes. But sometimes it'd be like, ask for a date, and they'd be like, oh, great, you know, like, do you want to meet for, like, and they would say something like, do you want to meet for coffee? Like, excellent, like, I know a place, such and such, do you want to go there? And then we'd work it out very quickly, and then the job done, and then we wouldn't really talk much until the date. Yeah, and I think if you haven't talked much at all yet, and you're both on the page of like, there's no point chatting online because we won't really know each other until we meet and see each other in real life. And I think for a lot of these women, and I will say this came up in conversation on a lot of the dates, is how many men lie about a lot of stuff. And I'm not saying it's just the men, because like, as I've said, one of the women I went and I dated for a few dates, she confessed that she wasn't actually 39, she was 49 and things like that, regardless of what she put on her profile. But men apparently very commonly lie about their height. And some of them said, yeah, they met a man who's like shorter than them, and these women like maybe like 5'5" or something, I don't know. And they're like, yeah, he was shorter than me, but he'd put down he was like 5'11" or something. Or one of them had the balls to say he was 6 foot, and he clearly was nowhere near it. Like, and I'm like, I mean, dudes, add an inch or two on if you need to, but like, what are you doing? If you're 5'4", you're saying you're 6 foot. That's never gonna fly. Like, how? And like, just you might as well be catfishing these people in there. So I got why a lot of the women didn't really want to waste too much time chatting, because they probably got like 100 matches, loads of guys messaging, didn't really want to waste too much time with anyone who wasn't interested enough to actually go for a date, which I kind of get. And then obviously they've got to get on that date just to find out if the guy was fibbing, because a lot of them use like incorrect photos and stuff as well, which is mental. Or like, this is one that the women do as well as the men, which is use old photos, which I'm like, no, I'm just using something from the like, if it's older than 6 months, what are you using it for? But most of the women that I went on dates with, they were using images that were at least 5 years old, but could be as much as like 10 years old. And I'm like, that's a bit crazy. I know that you think that that's like still you and it's acceptable. It's like, come on, yeah. I mean, if you're looking at someone who's basically, you know, they're like, I don't know, 38 or whatever, but actually in the photo they're 31, that's a big difference, isn't it? That's a big difference. And the guys are doing this as well, and I'm like, and I think this is the thing, some women have been on the apps for so long, they know the game, they know that I've got to meet the guy, figure out if everything he's saying is correct. I'm like, yeah, you know. So that's one of the main problems of the apps, is that there's no way to differentiate you from all of these liars and these fakers. So the only way is to go on all these dates, but then it's very like A, costly, and B, time consuming and just nuts to go on all these dates. It's crazy. But there you go. That's my rant about dating anyway. And we got we've got Max and Spark are going to be getting friends in there. There we are, that's good, on the old games. So you're saying a first date should always be in a public place like a cosy pub or coffee shop. Second date can be something like a picnic on a beach or a woodland walk, strolling hand in hand. Sounds perfect, Sue. Sounds absolutely perfect. Yeah, something like that. I agree with you 100% there. I think like a first date should be something a bit more public, just for people's safety, surely. Like, I remember this, like my thought on this, like I tried to think about what's a good first date, and I tried to, in my naivety, think I want to try to stand out. So let's try and think up some good first dates. But then I very quickly learned that the women all just wanted to like have these simple dates, like no kind of like high stress about it. And I kind of get that, and I see why now on dating apps that's a thing. It's not like it used to be when I was younger, and it'd be like, you know, you're supposed to make a big effort and whatnot. But I was very surprised, because I thought, well, yeah, but you can't ask to go for on a hike or a walk or anything. That'd be crazy, because like, nah, that wouldn't be. But then quite a few of the women suggested it as like, or we could go on a walk if you like. I was like, and I remember saying, really, you'd be all right with a walk? And they're like, yeah, it'd be nice. There's some nice walks around. Like, are you sure? And I was like, my mind boggled, but I didn't want to go into it too much and seem like a creep. But I was like, what? And you don't want to school somebody either and say, are you sure this is safe? Are you just meeting random guys in random? What on earth? So yeah, Yeah, crazy, but yeah, but I agree with you, Sue. I think that those are the ways it should be done. That's a good first and second date. Um, Max saying, I think that's it. If not my, oh, you do guys do that. Here we go. Max saying, I'm 6 foot without shoes, Sparker, but I wear hiking shoes that give me an extra 2 or 3 inch. Yeah, I guess I'm more than 6 foot when I'm wearing my shoes for sure. Yeah, I generally wear like, I wouldn't call them hiking shoes, but they do have a decent sole because I do hike with them. And when I bought them, I noticed how they made me taller, and I was like, I love wearing it. Well, I don't wear mine for that. I wear mine because I have Gore-Tex ones, and that's very good for keeping my feet dry. If I'm basically when I'm working and I'm a winter clear, I'm basically going in the bushes sometimes, and the bushes, if they're damp, I'll get soaked, and yeah, it's not fun having wet feet while you're trying to climb ladders and stuff. So yeah, and then obviously when I'm hiking anyway. Um, oh, Sue's off. See you, Sue. Good night. Thanks for chatting. I don't think Sue ever even told me where she's from. If you're still in, Sue, before you go, are you from UK? Or are you from somewhere else? Oh, we have Ivan. Is that Ivanovac? Are we saying that right? Ivanovac? Ivanovac, you're around the face. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Hello from the Czech Republic. So is it Ivan? Am I saying that right? I hope so, but amazing. You were the first person from the Czech Republic. I can be sure of that because I would have remembered there's somebody else from here. That's amazing. How you doing over there? I guess it's quite late there. You must be a couple of hours ahead of us at least. We're over in the UK, so yeah, you're quite east of us. But brilliant to have you in. Oh, you're from Kent. Ah, yeah, we do have another viewer who comes from Kent. I can't remember. One of the family members comes from there. I can't remember which one it is. Yeah, but he was suggesting there's some good walks down there I need to go and try and do. But yeah, thanks for popping in anyway, Sue. It was really nice to see you. Oh, and Rach is off as well. Good night, Rach. It's lovely to have you in too. Yeah, I think I'm going to be calling it now as well because it's gone past 11. I was supposed to call it 11. Thanks to everyone else as well, to Max and Sparker especially. You guys have been lovely in the chat. I hope you guys enjoy playing with each other on the games. But yeah, good night, Sue and Rach. Love you both, and you, Max and Sparker. Love you guys too. I think that's all the family that we're in still. I don't know if any of the other family we're in. No, it's just been us for a little while now, I think, and then just some randoms. But all the randoms, if you haven't subbed, make sure you do. Love everybody who's been in the chat. Thanks very much. See you tomorrow. Have fun.